Hello, and welcome to Helpful Goat Presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist, a stream where Helpful Goat Gaming plays Dungeons and Dragons. It's a game of shared storytelling where I try to kill my friends. I'm Andrew Gilbert, the benevolent dictator of Helpful Goat Gaming, but tonight, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. And I'm not alone. With me, as always, is the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat, Galway, playing the kobold monk Squirm.
Hey, everybody.
Adam, playing the half-elf paladin Silver.
Good evening.
Lena, playing the half-drow artificer Amelia.
Hi.
And TJ playing the Yuan T wizard Lysandra.
If I had a flower for every time I thought of you all, I'd walk forever in a garden.
Do our characters all know that Lysandra is Yuanti by now?
She's totally normal human with the ability to talk to snakes.
I don't think we do, though. I don't think it's come up.
I'm pretty sure that considering Squirm met your family and was like, you look suspiciously like me, but not like me.
As TJ put it, it's a bit gauche to bring it up. Let's see.
It's the best, worst kept secret in town, as far as I'm concerned.
I love it.
Okay, gotcha.
Hey, welcome. This is the podcast where we play all kinds of stuff, but right now we're doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, a pre-made campaign from Dungeons and Dragons, which is super fun. This podcast feed is about trying some new things and kind of expanding just a little bit of the normal D&D, which we do on our Goats and Dragons main feed, which is super fun. And I can't wait to get back to that one as well.
Can I jump in here with something quick?
Please do.
For anyone who's listening out there who has not rated and reviewed our podcast on Apple Podcasts, formerly known as iTunes.
Indeed.
Please do it. I mean, at this point, we're not going to get on the new and notable. But now that we have two podcast feeds, Goats and Dragons and Helpful Goat Presents. Even if you're just tuning in for the stream every once in a while and you don't plan on actually listening to the podcast, although you totally should, it would be awesome if you subscribed and rated and reviewed on Apple, because those things just always help. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Very cool. And then Galway, I believe, had a quick mention of something, I believe, too.
Yeah, try to keep it a little bit quick here.
You're good.
So Monte Cook Games is a game publisher y'all might be familiar with. They make games like Numenera, Invisible Sun, some amazing stuff. And recently they came out with an amazing free supplement called Consent in Gaming that helps game masters and players have productive conversations about the kind of content that people are willing and able to have in tabletop experiences. This is, as I said, amazing. But I wanted to respond to, like I said, this came out a couple days ago. I've been sick the past few days. I hopped on Twitter and for some reason was surprised that there was a vocal contingent of people extremely outraged that such a thing as consent should need to be part of the gaming experience. Many people, creators, tabletop enthusiasts that I and we at Helpful Goat follow had expressed the appropriate response to those people, telling them to sod off. But I wanted to express another important aspect of that issue, just real quick. For anyone and everyone that wants or needs this supplement to be able to fully enjoy your role-playing game experiences, you're awesome, you're amazing, and I'm glad you play games. Your contribution to your games are super valuable, and your character's a badass that I'd love to be able to play a game with. I'm going to be posting a link in the chat to that content. Like I said, it's free content. I encourage you to follow them on social media, show your support and appreciation for the free content, and just help remind them as content creators that there are people who see the good and the value in all of this, because I think it's really amazing. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Galway. That's super amazing. Yeah. All about stuff.
Co-signed.
Here, here.
Awesome. So with that, I think it's all the announcements. So let's begin tonight's episode of Helpful Gaming presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Previously in Waterdeep, the gang gets out of the Growlhund Villa just as the watch was arriving. Attempting to follow a mechanical creature that was escaping the villa, the group made their way through the night snow and split up to cover more ground. Through some scouting, they believed that they had found the trail again leading to an old windmill just outside the Fields district of Waterdeep. They returned home, frozen and weary, but with a new sense of direction. And even though Blastwind and Cromley visited the players the next day to ask a few pointed questions about the incident last night, it seems for now as though no charges are being presented. The gang then gathered themselves and took to the streets again toward that old windmill. They gleaned from the current owner that perhaps a package was delivered and that it was then sent out again via delivery to a place called Cuddled Meat Pies. Tracking this down then, the group stumbled upon several Xanathar's guild members attempting to disrupt the operations of the Zentarum. The group then witnessed the Zentarum attempting to flee with a package. They all then took to the rooftops for an epic chase through the snowy city. They finally caught up to the figure in a small theater, and Squirm saw that she had left behind the package. Oddly, he grabbed the package, and as the theatergoers gathered around them to see what the commotion was, the gang lost their quarry and instead just focused on the bag, inside of which they found what was causing such trouble in the first place. The Stone of Galore, an artifact of immense power, and really the only way to know the whereabouts of the lost horde of dragons. Now, making your way through the city slowly and coldly, paranoid that every passerby might be an assassin or spy for any of the major factions in town, you finally again arrive to Troll Skull Alley. In the encroaching twilight, the streets are now lit by dangling lanterns of greens and reds and blues, and the brightest glow from any of the businesses is yours, the Troll Skull Tavern, which is finally open for business. What is it you would all like to do?
So, Lysandra, I should say, is still invisible. So she's going to step into an alley and cancel invisibility and step back out.
That spell only lasts so long.
It's like an hour, isn't it?
Is it an hour?
I thought it was 10 minutes or something.
It is up to 1 hour. I'm looking at it right now because I just got it.
It's greater invisibility.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
I would like to point out that as we I assume there's some almost music coming from our manor and stuff.
A little bit, yeah, a little piano music.
And so I feel like from underneath Wrythe's cloak, because Squirm has never emerged.
That's fine, yeah.
You're just gonna hear, fuck. Opening night. Forgot.
I know. I don't know why we have to open anyways.
Money, my dears, monies. Come, potty faces, everybody.
I don't have a different face than this. Well, actually, I think I do have one in my bag.
Please
that would horrify
Please don't
people.
Yes. Thank you.
And it's still attached to the skull.
So not really just a face then.
Yeah, I mean,
More of
it's
a
a
face.
head.
Face plus one.
Yeah.
The wind.
The invitation
picks
is
up.
for a face.
The wind picks up as you're talking out here, and you have to brace against the cold.
So Lysandra's going to... Are we, really worse for the wear? I mean, we did engage in a rooftop chase, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're exhausted. You're really tired, but...
I just want to confirm we haven't long rested, and so we don't have the benefits from leveling to level 5 yet, right?
Not technically, no.
Okay, cool.
But mechanically, we did roll for hit points last time, right?
Yeah. And unless you fuck up a bunch of stuff, you should be able to rest before you.
Yeah.
You're talking about us, Andy.
I get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Probably also more important for the casters to know what spells they don't have access to, as opposed to Squirm.
Indeed. Sure. Yeah.
Well, Lysandra's going to attempt to make herself look as nice as possible, within, the confines of being out in the cold. And then she's going to sort of attempt to enter in sort of a not overly grand fashion, but like she owns the place, because, she part does.
Indeed. So all of you then kind of step up to the door-ish.
Squirm will probably be tapping Amelia. Be like, we should probably drop the item off in the rooms before we go in with all the people.
So that people can go raid our bedrooms while we're downstairs pretending to like people?
Fair enough. Squirm will hold it. Please hold. And Squirm's gonna drop out of the cloak.
Okay.
I can put it in my body bag.
Fair point. He'll toss you the satchel. Or actually, he'll probably have just like, if you were saying that, he'll pop it in the satchel. And then he's going to sort of pat his clothes down. All right. Party time.
So I'm going to put it in my body bag.
Let me call it a body bag.
Body bag. Silver will immediately do a twice over of the room to see if there's anybody suspicious around, anybody we should be wary of, especially with this item in our possession.
No problem. You step in the door of the tavern, and you see a harried Finnegan behind the bar, running around, jumping. And when he sees you and hears the door open, and he goes, "Oh, thank God! We're a bit busy. I would love some help." But also give me a perception check to check the room.
Right to you.
I just tried looking for expert perception, forgetting that I'm playing a silver, not Burbage.
So 14 perception for Lysandra.
Okay.
12 for silver.
So as that's happening, I'm going to also, Squirm is going to run up Silver's back and like vault to the bar.
All right. Yeah.
I will say that
Welcome.
that performance check was also for Lysandra's entrance. So 19
Beautiful,
performance.
yeah.
She's probably more focused on making a good impression.
Excellent. Yeah, you are certainly have the attention of everyone. They start kind of, oh yeah, here are the people. Here are the people that own the place, and
Squirm's just going to start mixing drinks.
Beautiful, great. Yeah, you're on it. It's so basically with a 12 and a 14 perception, you see some familiar faces here. Finnegan behind the thing. Markham is running around taking orders and stuff. You also have a new hire that you had, Dwali, a dwarf woman who is really good at serving food and that sort of thing, and she's also helping out in the kitchen as you're just a tiny bit short-staffed with so many people. You also see Emic, the owner of Emic's Place, the bar down the street.
Oh, that fantastic man.
Yeah. You also notice Volo and Raynar at the bar, as well as Durnan, who's taking some time off from his own place, the Yawning Portal, to have a drink with you. And the last person you sort of recognize here is Thrakis the Butcher, the really gruff, hard-looking butcher who ran the butchery at the old windmill.
The one Silver had a staring contest with.
He's a giant dragonborn, right?
He's a very large dragonborn, yeah. Very rotund, yeah.
And presumably he has connections with the Zentarum. Correct?
Is that a question?
I guess it's... I mean, we would all presume that. Our characters would, right?
You have presumed that, yeah. Something seemed to be delivered to his place and went out in a delivery as well that seemed to be connected
And there
to
was
the
this
Zentarum,
Zentarum
so-
mark there.
Yeah.
We found that,
Yes.
I remember.
You did find that as well, yeah.
So, can I do an insight check on kind of what he's up to, what kind of energy he's got about him? Does he look like he's up to no good, or but he basically does he know what happened with the Stone of Galore earlier today?
Okay.
And is he here on bad business?
Sounds good. That's fairly specific. Yeah. With a 13, you can't quite read that. He does seem to be very furtive in his kind of looking around a bit. But also he's sitting alone at a table, and also just maybe very, very socially awkward. So it's difficult to tell exactly how he's feeling.
Do I see the carter that said she was going to be bringing him?
You don't see her, no. Which she could have just dropped him off and then left. But she also, I think, said that she knew of a bar opening and she was maybe thinking of attending. But you don't see her around. Yeah.
Interesting.
Does this seem like the kind of event that Silver will feel out of place in if he keeps his armor on?
Not necessarily. No. You are very proud of your sort of paladin status in the town, which everyone seems to know as well. And
I was going to say, I feel like you being sparkly works.
Yeah, totally. Okay, then, Silver will post up maybe at this table here. Who's playing the piano?
A random person at the moment.
It's Silver's piano, but that's okay.
It is. Yeah. It's just in the corner. And
I'm posting up and just kind of looking around and keeping watch on everything, specifically Thrakis and Emic.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of sit at the table with Emic, and he has a friend, it looks like, there as well.
Oh, that's Emic at that table? I didn't realize.
Yeah, right here.
But
Yeah.
Silver's going to realize that when he sits down and then decide that, well, fine, I'm just going to do this.
Okay.
So, and I will say, Lysandra's going around, probably starting with Raynor and Volo, and then any other very important people she sees around, or very rich people she sees. Same thing, really. She's going to be air kissing and saying, "Darling, darling, it's so wonderful that you've come." But she is also keeping an eye on Thrakis in particular. Not so much Emic, but Thrakis.
Great. Sounds good.
Is the only place in the whole fucking bar that's not crowded, like, behind the bar?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, otherwise it's pretty packed with people.
Amelia is looking around in what looks like increasing panic, although it's hard to tell with the mask on.
Right, perhaps you could help some with the kitchens.
I don't know how to cook.
They're dead animals.
I mean, I can cook drow food.
There's fewer people there.
Sort of sidle over to Amelia and say, "Yes, you might be more comfortable where there's less people."
Why are we doing this? This is horrible.
Money, my dear, money.
That's a non sequitur.
She's going to turn and wink at Raynor. "I don't know what you mean, dear Amelia."
I don't understand. I'm going to go, I guess, to the kitchen. Maybe
All
I'll
right.
just go to bed. No, I'll go to the kitchen in case you people need me.
Aw.
We'll scream if we're in danger. Thank you, dear Amelia.
All right, but also say danger or something so I don't just think people are screaming.
We'll compromise and say, "Scream danger."
Okay.
Was your homunculus out as you entered?
Yeah,
and walking
it's
around
just
the
been
place?
floating around following me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a party now.
At one point, someone kind of stands up very quickly, and then they kind of get poked a little bit by the homunculus and turn around and are like, "Ah!" And then sit back down very sheepishly, and his friends laugh at him.
I was going to say Squirm from the bar will be like, settle down, settle down.
Oh shit, the Silver Sea Jalister here?
Yeah, so Jalister then just kind of walked in and is sort of now looking around and looking for a place to sit.
Does Lysandra see him as well?
Yes. Yep.
Lysandra will say, Jalister, my dear, welcome. Come, have a drink. We'll find you a nice place by that fire.
Yes. Yeah, oh, thank you. If you don't mind, I'll sit by Durnan over here. Good old friend.
Most certainly. Lysandra's going to position herself right here to eavesdrop on any pertinent conversations.
Ooh, very good.
Where's Durnan?
At the bar here.
Okay, all right. Silver was he was trying to push Emek to give up his seat for Jalister. And then it was awkward when Jalister just walked right by and went to the bar.
Emek then looks at you and just kind of glares just a little bit. I have a right to be here.
Yes, I suppose you do, although don't you think your establishment could be using your attention right now?
Oh, we're fine. No need.
You sure you're not here scouting out the place for some nefarious purposes of your own?
Nope, entirely that, yes.
Wait.
He'll take a long drink. Oh, this is a little stronger than I thought. Sorry.
From the bar, Squirm's just going to two-finger salute over at Silver.
All right, Silver thinks that means he has permission to kick Emek out.
To bounce him? All right.
Yes, Silver's going to bounce Emek because Emek just said that he's here for nefarious purposes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Silver's going to drag him out.
All right, yeah. Do you want to kind of scare him or just physically just
and
drag him out?
How loud are you being? Because that will determine Lysandra's reaction.
I'm being subtle, and I'm going to try an intimidation first, yeah.
Okay, yeah, give me an intimidation roll before you get super physical.
12.
With a 12, he seems a little put off, but he's almost kind of hooks in a little bit, hooks in a little bit more and says, I can drink where I want.
Not when you admit that you're here to do us harm and to undermine our business.
Oh, you would do the same.
Whether or not that's the case is beside the point. Now I'll tell you one more time. Leave, or else.
Or else what, you'll make a scene with your melodramatic ways? And he's being very loud and everyone's watching at this point.
All right, now I'm going to drag him out physically.
All right, give me a strength check.
A 7. What the fuck?
At 18, he you start dragging him out and he just grabs onto one of the tables and is just no. It's just his grip is really strong. It's actually pretty impressive.
So Lysandra's gonna go over and sort of go up to Emek and put a hand on his shoulder. Let's see, where is he at? There he is. Okay, and she'll whisper in almost a sibilant tone, perhaps somewhat mystical, and say, "Don't you really think you better go outside before you make a fool of yourself?" And cast suggestion.
All right. Let's see. It's a wisdom save, I think.
It is.
He rolled a 3.
Freaking finally.
Yes.
Thank God.
At this, he lets go and perhaps I'll just go outside where I think it's more accommodating. And
That's a good idea, Emek.
Yeah. And he goes over to the door and whips it open as Sergeant Cromley is entering the place then as well.
That was great, Lysandra. Maybe we should change jobs. You can be the bouncer, and I can be the social influencer.
As Emmik's heading out, and like attention was sort of on that portion of it, like of the bar, right? That whole incident.
Yeah.
While I've been mixing drinks, like in between actual orders, I've been preparing the Rainer drops because he'd wanted a drink named after him. So I've like made a tray of them. And Squirm is gonna hop up on the bar and like, well, now that everything in here is a little bit more hospitable with some of the less desirables gone, a celebration of our wonderful patron. A round of Rainer drops in celebration of the young Master Neverember.
There's some laughing and clapping then for young Master Rainer, who stands and gives a bit of a nod and tips his own cup to you.
And then, there's literally a tray of them, which I'm going to make sure go to the more
Excellent.
But generally.
I love it.
I'll also make sure that if Thrakis doesn't come over to get one, that he gets one.
Okay. Yeah, you can give one. Yeah, Diwali is going to pass out some as well. Give me a check. Do you have are you brewer's kits? Are you proficient with that?
Yes, I'm proficient with brewer's supplies. I don't know what attribute they're supposed to go to.
I'll let you pick. How do you make drinks?
I feel like for Squirm, it's a wisdom-based thing, because I feel like he sort of intuits what goes well together.
I like it. Yeah, give me a wisdom check with proficiency with your kit.
18.
Ooh, 18. Very nice. Yeah, with an 18, you've made very exceptional drinks. Everyone seems really into it. It's great, and you've brought more attention to your business with this. People are going to talk about it.
And I remember I had a bit of a conversation with the Brewers Guild. To be fair to that one, I tried to make sure that this was a mixed drink using the supplies we had from them.
Totally fine. Yeah, totally.
So
good.
Not a violation of our contract.
Totally good. I get you. Yeah.
Where's Silver with an E? Did Finnegan put him in my room or something?
Yes. Probably that's where he is. You don't see the badger either. Although, Squirm, you are having actually a little bit of a hard time. People are drinking faster than you can kind of clean the drinks. Finnegan is running around. Everyone's doing their own thing. So the glasses are starting to pile up. And then all of a sudden you see one of the cups just sort of lift into the air, and then a towel like wipe it off and sort of rinse it off. And it appears the ghost is happily clean as well. And as Finnegan is running around, Squirm alone hears him go, "Oh, thanks, Gramps." And then,
okay, I was literally about to ask. I was like, all right, I, as Adam, have known since the beginning of the game that the ghost is Finnegan's grandfather, but it's never been clear to me that, like, does Finnegan know that? So thank you for clarifying that.
Beautiful. And Volo is happily drinking. He's doing the sort of weird magic trick where he seems to pour the drink into his hat and then drink from the hat. But it very clearly is not a magic trick. He's just drinking from his hat.
Delicious.
You also give a drink to Thrakis, and Thrakis, though he's gruff, definitely takes it in. Then he nods at you very sternly, Squirm, and kind of thanks you for the drink. Rainer and Jalister are talking up a storm, just about kind of the good old days when they were young, and it seems they know some of the same people, so they're kind of comparing notes. And Lysandra, you see Sergeant Cromley kind of walk in, and as he sees you, he says, "Not here on official business, just bit of a social outing."
Of course, dear Mr. Cromley, come, have a drink. My dear Squirm has mixed some fantastic Rainer drops. Here, have one on the house.
Oh dear, oh thank you, quite. My associate Blastwind sends his regards, though there was some trouble a bit down south that he called to his attention.
Oh, yes, of course, I know you are very busy. Well, come and relax.
Indeed. Excellent. Yeah, so is there anything, anyone you would kind of want to talk to in particular, or anything you'd like to do this evening as the night continues to roll by very quickly?
I will say Lysandra's just trying to get snippets of conversation from pertinent people. She's, and I will say for as long as the suggestion lasts, which I think, is it an hour? She will be concentrating on the suggestion that she gave to Emmett to keep him out.
Okay, specifically kind of outside in the cold even.
Yes. So, I mean, she doesn't want him to die of frostbite, but she, incidentals.
All right.
Can Silver he's been drinking some Toff's vintages?
Beautiful.
Presumably. Sure. And after one or two of those, I'm trying to decide what Silver wants to do. If he wants to give a toast and get everyone's attention, which seems like a precarious thing to do right now, or to just go approach Jalister and try to get another Lord's Alliance mission, which is slightly less precarious.
So the first one didn't go swimmingly.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Silver is going to give a toast. He's going to get the attention of everybody in the room.
All right.
Attention, everyone! Attention! Attention!
Yeah, the crowd seems to die down.
I will say that Lysandra's almost squinting at you, don't fuck this up.
Squirm is recognizing an opportunity and is motioning at the invisible ghost to clean for all you're worth. We have a moment.
Silver Naran here, of the House Naran.
We know who you are.
Settle down.
I'm glad you do. Just wanted to say, welcome one and all to the opening night of the Troll Skull Tavern. We could not be more happy and pleased to have you all here and to be serving you the best drinks you'll find in Waterdeep. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Some of you may have heard that just a few days ago, I took my oath to become a paladin. Is there any...
I feel like
Okay.
Squirm has now made direct eye contact with Lysandra with the very familiar what?
Lysandra's she's waiting where this is going, but she's got another suggestion ready.
She sees the words forming on Squirm's lips. Long, winding.
Sun-bleached.
Mm-hmm. It has been it was a few days, right, Andy?
Yeah.
And so Silver waits a little bit. He's expecting some cheers to yay, a paladin, but he doesn't get it, and so he'll. Anyway, yeah, indeed, just wanted to say I could not be more proud, more honored to serve as a paladin in this great city. Some of you may know me as a wealthy, spoiled, privileged, naive, irresponsible.
So Lysandra's now gesturing at you to hurry this up. She's like, come on.
The list is going to take a while.
Yeah, after a few more adjectives. He'll get
Just a chuckle from the crowd.
Noble brat. And to be fair, that was entirely accurate. But now I am going to be a better person, a more serious person. And Silver's gonna get super grave and he's going to glare at everybody in the room. And I'm going to be doing my damnedest to stop the incessant warfare in the streets. Anyone here who knows anything about it, feel free to tell me what you know. And if anyone here plans to be a part of it or to perpetuate it, you'll have me to answer to.
So Lysandra will kind of sidle up by Silver and say, "But not tonight, as another round of drinks is free on the house."
What?
Yay! All right.
Silver's going to turn to Lysandra. Lysandra, what are you doing? That's deeply irresponsible.
She's like, "You are killing the mood," and she's gonna mouth sorry to Squirm.
At the what are you doing that's deeply irresponsible, you feel a slice of lemon hit the back of your head, Silver, and you just see Squirm like, no, not from you, not right now.
At this, Jalister stood up and held up his mug high. Hi for one. I'm glad to see it. Bless this establishment and all who dwell within. There's some murmuring. Aye.
So, yeah.
Cheers, then.
Yeah, Jalister, and I want to make eye contact with Jalister and hold up my mug and sort of co-toast the room and get everybody to join in on the toast with me and Jalister.
All right. Very good. Give me a persuasion or performance check, Silver, to see how well that all went over.
14 persuasion.
14. Nice. Yeah, you have a couple of people that just kind of want to get back to drinking, but everyone raises their glass and toasts the room, the establishment, and an end to the war in the streets. And they all drink.
So, sort of trying to capitalize on that, like the fact that that was at least generally accepted. Squirm will, take a drink for the toast and go, and Squirm, for one, is proud to be serving as your bartender. So come on, belly up, orders.
Amelia, you see Finnegan run back into the kitchen, and he's leaning against the wall, and he's breathing heavily, and he's like, Silver just ordered drinks for every single person in the bar.
Jesus.
That's inaccurate. Silver did not do that.
Yeah, no, that was definitely Lysandra.
Finnegan got it wrong. Okay, you know what? Adam, I'm very suspicious of Finnegan now because he said to me like that thing about like, oh, Silver, I hope you sleep as well as you can, and now he's like purposefully lying about me to Amelia. I know Silver.
You don't know what's going on back there.
I know, but that's bullshit.
How are things going out there, Finnegan, other than that?
It's not so bad. It's not a bad opening night. You got a bunch of people. That's good.
It's horrible.
It's a bit horrible, yeah.
Have any of them left yet?
No, it's just adding more and more.
That's awful.
I think that Emic guy left, but I don't recall.
Oh.
Anyway, where were you guys tonight? We could used
just
a few more hands.
We were out longer than we thought we would be. They thought we'd be back in time for the opening.
Aye. Oh, well, you all look a bit tired, but I'm glad you're here for help. Except when you just let everyone drink for free. Anyway, I gotta get back out there.
Yeah.
If you don't mind cutting up those bananas, Squirm will need a few more for some drinking.
Sure.
Hi. Thanks. That's a weird flying needle, by the way. Okay, bye.
Thank you. I'm gonna start chopping up the bananas, but I look like I don't really understand that you're supposed to peel them first, so I'm just chopping them up with the peel on.
I love it, yeah.
That's amazing. Andy, during my toast,
Yes.
when I said the part about the war in the streets, I was looking around the room to see if anybody kind of reacted to that, especially Thrakus.
Give me a perception check.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
It's an unnatural 20. I love it.
Thrakis did sort of put his head back down and kind of lowered his glass just a bit at that part. And you saw him wait a minute as everyone was drinking to the cheers. He kind of hesitated and then just downed his drink and set it down. And he actually looks like he's kind of standing up now and perhaps gathering his things.
Okay.
The room has gotten a little bit noisier then again, as well as people's conversations have started up again.
So Lysandra's kind of gonna elbow Silver gently after the toast goes pretty well and say, you know, you're not so bad, Naran. And she's going to down her drink in one. I'm going to go help Squirm. And she's going to...
Wait, Lysandra.
What? Yes?
Was that Seth Cromley who walked in?
Yes. Yes, it was.
I'm not saying we should do this tonight, but is Thrakis leaving?
He's on his way. Yeah.
Okay, because as Silver's talking to Lysandra, his eyes are following Thrakis to make sure he's not causing trouble.
Okay.
Eventually, at some point, don't you think we ought to maybe give... Okay, where's he going? Where's he going?
He's going to the door.
All right, good. Freaking out,
son of a bitch. Yeah. I love it.
So I've been thinking that given the item that we have and the things we're going to be trying to do with said item, we might want to eliminate as many players from the game as possible before we start playing the next round.
Silver, what's your point?
My point is, maybe Seth Cromley, the sergeant, doesn't have as much information as he potentially could, implicating the Temple of God in the attack outside of our tavern.
Ah, I see. I feel similarly. However, we owe it to the others to talk to them about this first before we let him know. So I think that let us do the opening tonight as we see fit. Lysandra's actually going to hiccup a little bit. And Silver, you get the notion that Lysandra's a lightweight. And Lysandra's going to say, but tonight we have all of them to tend to. And I feel terrible for dear Squirm. I'm going to try and help him with the drinks at the bar. Perhaps it was bad for profits to say that everybody should have free drinks.
Oh, sure. No, but it's fine. I can help make up the cost of those. Lysandra, before you go, can I say one kind comment about you and your appearance tonight? And if you don't want me to, I won't.
Please? Lysandra's kind of one eye is slightly less open than the other. Yes?
I think you are absolutely lovely when you hiccup. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go talk to
Lysandra's kind of gonna sway and say, "You are simply delightful tonight, Silver," and peck you on the cheek, and then stride away.
Ooh.
Slightly wobbly.
Silver's gonna blush. And Andy, Silver will try, he will see if Jalister does happen to have another Lord's Alliance mission for him.
Okay. Yeah.
If such an
and then
arises.
Squirm, Lysandra will come help you. She's going to try and pour drinks, but she's pouring the equivalent of Everclear into every drink.
In the middle of the first pour, Squirm is going to, you're going to see the sort of reptilian eye shift sideways. Stop that. Go help Writhe in the kitchen.
Okay. Are you all right out here? She'll sort of wobble back towards the kitchen, looking at you.
Are you all right wherever you are?
In all three places right now. Yes. And she'll sort of wobble back to the kitchen.
All right, Lysandra, you come across Dwali, the kind of stout female dwarf, and as you approach, she looks at you and she goes, "Wait, watch!" And she's pointing at Amelia, who's very cautiously but resolute in chopping bananas with the skin on, and she says, "Have you ever seen anything like that? She's chopping them with the skins on."
Yes, we've all been to ritual circumcisions, my dear. And she'll sort of pass by.
Oh dear. She scurries away.
And Lysandra will sort of come up to Amelia and like grab a banana and be like, "Amelia, let me help you with that." And she's obviously very giddy. And she will start talking to Amelia with no comprehension of if Amelia is incredibly bored or not about how fantastic it is out there.
Great.
And Reyna, he looks simply delightful tonight, and she'll pet your homunculus needle. Aren't you cute? And she'll sort of be hacking the bananas just in completely non-equal parts.
Okay.
Should you be using a knife right now?
Oh, of course. And she'll sort of fling it back and it'll stick in the wall, and then she'll pull it out and start chopping the bananas again.
You only have like 5 bananas. Just saying.
Anyways, yes.
Squirm, you sort of watch as Silver approaches Jalister, and then they kind of have a bit of a hushed conversation. And at this, Volo has kind of got your attention, Squirm, and he's kind of tipsy at this point, and he dips his hat sort of over his eyes, and he says, "Squirm, my dear boy, do you have anything a bit stronger for an old gnome?" It's me. I'm the old gnome.
It is a pretty chilly night out.
Yeah, it's chilly. Very chilly out.
Perhaps
It came on quick.
take the chill out of the evening for you then. A warm drink?
Aye. You get me. You get me, Squirm.
So Squirm is gonna slap a mug down and then proceed to pour the equivalent of that Long Island coffee
Cool.
that he made for Blastwind and himself.
All right. Very good. And as you're
Which
doing
is,
that,
again, just incredibly strong liquors poured into one glass.
yeah. As you're doing that, you hear Dwali move behind you. "Oh, circumcision! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear!" She rushes out into the crowd again.
You're going to see Squirm, as he's pouring, sort of tilt his head to the side. That'll have been Lysandra.
And Silver, so Jalister, as you sort of ask him for this, if there are any more Lord's Alliance opportunities, and he nods and he says, "I've been looking for a way to kind of get you back into things, prove yourself a bit more. This one's a bit harder, and I think certainly you could handle it. No more protecting dung sweepers."
That sounds great, although I will say that if the mission were to defend dung sweepers, I would happily do it, because I'm a transformed, or at least on my way to being transformed, person. For what it's worth.
Excellent. So yes, there is someone named Harko Swornhold. He's an evil adventurer who was exiled 3 years ago for attempting to bribe a city magistrate, and he's returned to Waterdeep now illegally. We think the Xanathar Guild is using him to incite violence. He was last seen recruiting Kenku down in the Docks Ward. If you find him, if you come across him, put him to the sword.
Indeed. Just to be clear, does that mean kill him?
Yeah, yes, kill him.
I thought so. Just wanted to be absolutely certain. No room for misunderstanding in the Lord's Alliance. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, of course.
And presumably you will have a sort of missive that I can take with me and put in my inventory so I can look at the details of this mission later?
No, it's basically just that. Harkle.
Okay, fine. That's all right. I'll check with the DM later. That's fine.
Okay, okay, fine.
Unless you want to spell the name for me right now. Do you want to do it?
I don't think you're gonna have to spell it, but Harko. Sworn hold. 2 words. All mushed together.
So 1 word.
Yeah, 1 word, yes.
Harko Swornhold. Seen. Silver's writing this down, I guess. Seen recruiting Kenkus for Xanathar's guild to incite violence.
Yes.
He is an evil adventurer.
Are you going to want another drink while he's finishing this up?
That would be great, Squirm.
And should be put to the sword, in quotation marks, open parenthesis, that means...
There's a drink now in front of
K-I-L...
L.
Right.
Yes, the other L. There's 2 L's. God.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Jalister. I really appreciate you giving me a second
chance. You forgot to close
chance.
the parentheses.
Oh, yeah. Hold on 1 second. I dig through my bag again for whatever I was writing on. Maybe I was writing on my hand. Maybe I was carving this into my arm with a knife. I
feel like I handed you a napkin. I sort of feel like you were just pantomiming writing at the start of that with like nothing there, and Squirm just like side slid a napkin underneath the pen.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and he'll put the closed parenthesis and then look at Jouster and smile proudly and put his hand on Jouster's shoulder like we're equals now.
Well, he sort of pats your hand on his shoulder. There, boy.
Read the room. Read the room.
All right, I think I'm going to go check on my cat. And Silver will walk towards the door to go outside.
Right. As you walk into the door, another person then enters. And Silver and Squirm, you recognize them immediately. They are the head of the Vintners and Brewers Guild in the area, named Hammond Craddock. And he sort of wanders in and, "Oh, Mr. Naran! Good to see you. Your little friend, the green one. Oh, he's behind the bar. Yes.
Yes, right over there.
He'll start in that direction.
Does Hammond Craddock have a title, or do I call him Hammond, or generally? Like, because I've interacted with him before, right?
Yeah, generally just Hammond.
Squirm will sort of wave. Hi, Hammond.
And he'll kind of cozy up next to Volo at the bar and, looks like you are quite busy this evening.
Been keeping us busy, yep.
You've surely...
Also, mind that one's hat. It's probably still relatively full of alcohol.
He kind of sniffs it a little and Volo goes... And Hammond starts back just a second. Anyway, you've done quite wonders with the place. It's a nice space. It's a lovely atmosphere. Well done, well done. Would you, any chance, be willing to host a festival here in 3 weeks' time?
So at this, Lathandra's going to come bursting out of the kitchen, saying,
I'll need you to speak to our bookings manager, who will be in 3, 2, 1.
And bang, the door opens. And Lysandra comes out and says, I've done it! I've done it! And she slams down a glass. And she's like, any of you, I dare you to try the most magnificent drink. I've just made it. And I want you to note, Andy, this is the D&D equivalent of 4 Loco.
Oh my god.
Squirm is violently shaking his head at anyone. That's a bad idea.
You slam it down. Volo's reaching for it then.
Yes, Volo, a man of distinguished taste. Try this and tell me you're not invigorated.
Squirm is gonna, almost start to reach a hand out, look at Volo, think about his history serving drinks to Volo, that extends back to the yawning portal. Shrug.
Volo takes it and takes a sip, and then downs the whole thing after the sip. Oh dear, that's quite good, quite good. I love this.
Yes, it makes you want to have another 3 or 4 and then throw up, yes? And she'll slam another one down in front of him.
Ha! Frabagoosted. Should have a friggity Cameron.
So, Squirm's gonna look at Hammond. So, I assume that we as a guild, I don't know, have an altar to this guy or something. Because, good lord.
To Hammond?
No, I'm pointing to Volo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because he does not seem to really distinguish.
Yes, he's quite the connoisseur. And at this, Volo's standing on his chair, just bouncing up and down. Rakasneku!
Lysandra will be drinking from her own cup of her own concoction, saying, Rakasnikup indeed.
So normally Squirm would have referred you to our events manager. However, in the present circumstance...
Lysandra will wave, hello!
Exactly. Perhaps you could leave the details of the event with Squirm and we could contact you when she's not seeing 4 of you.
Oh, yes, of course.
Lysandra will, lean across the bar and say, I'm fine.
Grasna Shudi.
Indeed.
I'd like to point
Volo's
out
just
that
pointing it.
every time Volo points or they speak, Squirm is aware that they are both spellcasters on some level. And he's just oh, this is such a shitty circumstance.
At that, Hammond sits down next to Durnan and gives you some of the details of the festival and imagines putting some tables outside and really having Trollskull Manor host the sort of surrounding North Ward for a winter's festival. And he's describing it in all the details that he thinks and certainly the Vintners Guild will provide a lot of the materials for the gathering, a lot of the drinks and that sort of thing. But he was mostly just looking for some place to host it. And then you also notice Durnan and Jalister, as the night goes on, starts playing a card game. And you can't really tell the rules of it. They're both a little tipsy, and at different times, each one seems to be winning a decent amount of money from the other one. It's odd. But the night passes in such a fashion. The crowd starts to simmer down as the night goes on, and Martum and Finnegan are exhausted, but them plus Dwali plus you guys kind of helping out, it seemed to make the night go quite smoothly. And at this, people started to kind of trickle out.
if at some point there was a lull before everyone had been heading out, I also would have tried to, or I would have seen if Martin wanted to play for people.
Oh, that's very nice of you. I would love it. And he gets his flute out and begins to... can't really do a flute very well.
I was going to say, he gets his flute out and begins to whistle.
He can't quite play the flute. So really all that's kind of left are people you recognize. Durnan and Jalister and Hammond and Volo, who's now asleep on the edge of the bar. And I don't mean leaning on the bar. I mean he's gotten up on the bar and fallen asleep. And Cromley is also now kind of taking his leave for the night. Saying that everyone's done such a good job with the place.
If I can hear that it's quieted down from in the kitchen, I'll come
Certainly.
hesitantly out.
Yes, definitely.
Lysandra will have put her ear to Volo's belly, and she'll be saying, "So peaceful, the rumblings," and she'll sort of be falling asleep as well.
Right.
Amazing. Is Silver with an E okay?
Yes, he was very excited to see you as he was in the room, and you kind of stared out the window at the peaceful night, the snow turning kind of reds and greens and blues, depending on the lanterns that it passes, the wind picking up really heavily every once in a while, but then dying down so that the snow gently rests quietly on the ground. It's beautiful.
And Silver with an E was actually excited to see me?
He was, yeah.
Aww. And this is a silver-colored cat, not a cat made out of silver, right?
No, its skin is like a metal.
That's fascinating, and I have.
It's literally a silver cat.
Silver obviously knew that all along, and Adam.
Yeah.
He did not think to get that clarification until just now. But yeah, Silver with an E was all right. He would have made his way back down to be in the tavern for kind of as things are winding down.
Okay. And as things do wind down, Diwali sort of says, well, you probably don't need me for the night. I'll probably head home. If that's all right.
That should be fine. That should be fine. Do you want to take anything back with you?
Oh, no, actually, no. I'm fine. I would give the mister a bit of drink, but, well, he gets very loud when we're... Anywho, have a good night. And then she points at Lysandra. Circumcision! Oh, dear.
And Lysandra will sort of stir and say, "Not me, dear, don't worry." And then fall back asleep on Volo's belly.
Squirm is just lightweights.
Did I miss anything important, Squirm?
Not especially, Writhe.
Just circumcisions. She'll sort of fall back onto Volo.
You no.
So eventually, Jalister and Hammond and Durnan will take their leave as well, unless there's any further business.
Silver will have been playing on the piano,
Okay.
which he hasn't done in a long time. But he'll be playing on the piano, and he. Okay. 14 performance check, and I'm playing and I'm singing a song.
Okay.
Good night, Irene. Please make it Good Night, Irene.
It is not that. Silver, because as he was sitting there, Silver kind of got to thinking about Randall. I mean, it's been a really hectic few days since the attack, and he hasn't had much time to necessarily reflect on the loss of Randall. Indeed. But now he's been drinking. He's been kind of thinking about that, and so he had his the bell that used to be silent. He's been kind of holding it, and he'll turn and he'll set the bell on the top of the piano, and he'll play a little song, a little tune that he is improvising on the spot, and he'll sing along to it a little bit, and it just goes like this: Silver's bell, Silver's bell, Silver's bell, Silver's bell. There's no more Randall in the city.
Oh.
Squirm can't decide if that's beautiful or horrifying.
Sad.
Rainier leans in. It's horrifying.
And that was where Squirm was leaning. Speaking of horrifying, do you think you can get Volo out of here before Squirm has to damage the varnish on the wood to get him out?
I've done it many times before. Watch this. Mr. Gorvamp. And then Volo kind of picks his head up and he says, roll. And Volo just rolls like backwards off of the bar. But Rainier's there to catch him in a blanket, and then wraps him up like a sack, and then throws him over his shoulder.
So Lysandra shrieks at this and is like, "Oh my god! Oh, Mr. Volo. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was having the most terrible dream."
Did it involve circumcisions?
Funnily enough, it did. And just sort of lean on the Squirm. I'll tell you all about it.
Squirm is going to sort of very gently disengage so that he's free to continue like cleaning the bar.
I feel like you lean her against the other wall.
Actually, I was going to say, I kind of feel like I motion Nixa over and lean you against Nixa.
Yeah, so Nixa's sort of flapping furiously to keep her up. Yes.
Thank you.
If a winged serpent could roll its eyes, it would be doing so.
Squirm is also going to take basically the equivalent of a shot glass and hold it up towards Nixa.
She'll take a few drinks and sort of nod her head appreciatively.
Make a Constitution saving throw for Nixa.
Oh God, what is Nix's constitution?
Incidentally, I did not mean it was
Not
actually
that of a full-grown human.
Well, I was going to say it wasn't liquor that one would normally serve in a shot. I just meant it because it was a smaller glass.
Sure. Yeah. It shouldn't be high. Okay, good. Yeah. 17 for
17 for Nixa.
Totally good.
Nixa's actually a better drinker than Lysandra.
I love it. With Volo over his shoulder, Rainier sort of turns back to the rest of you, and I'm very excited about the prospects of my investment. Thank you all for working so hard. I see nothing but good days ahead of you. Now, I'm going to get this one home and see if I can't find a friend for the night. Anyway, good night.
Have a good night, Rainer. I'll also gesture behind me to Finnegan that he can head home if he wants to.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I'll push him a basket of like food for the family.
Oh, Mr. Squirm, so nice of you.
So, I will say, are there anybody other than employees around?
Martin will kind of slink back upstairs, eventually to his room.
So,
and then when Finnegan goes, that'll be it.
I just want to say, Lysandra, feel free to ask me for a retroactive performance check. However, Lysandra immediately straightens up the moment non-employees leave. Okay. And says, yes, Finnegan, would you like double tonight's pay for so much of your work? And she'll take the gold pieces from her own store and slide them to him. And she's standing completely straight up.
Oh, Miss Jadegrin, that's very kind of you. I certainly won't say no to it.
So I'm going to say, what's his normal wage?
About a silver a day.
So I'll give him 3 silvers and say, you've done fantastic. I'm sorry I couldn't have been of more help. And she'll sort of slide them.
Oh, you were all brilliant. I'm just glad everything worked out fine. Well, good night.
Have a good evening.
And he'll step out into the snow.
And she'll look at Squirm and say, fine evening, wasn't it? And she'll sort of brush herself off.
Squirm is never allowing you near Volo again.
Sorry, yes, I need to wash my ear. Oh my gosh, that man's belly.
I don't want to know.
Squirm is going to lay out a cup in the place that he normally does and pour out a drink for the ghost.
And the ghost seems to, be appreciative. He slides it over to the edge of the bar, and you feel like you hear like a creaking of someone like heavily sitting down, very tired on one of the on chairs. I'm
going to sort of pour a drink, an ale for myself, and clink my glass against it, up against the one I poured, and sort of take a long, slow drink. Well, that's accomplished.
She'll turn to Squirm and say, that was simply fantastic. I'm so sorry I was such a bother. I'm not usually so silly, but my mother once told me that when around alcohol, it's best to appear more stupid than you actually are. And it seemed to have worked.
So we're done with this now, right?
For tonight.
No.
Yes, Amelia.
Okay. Forever?
No,
Amelia,
just
no,
for tonight.
This is
No.
every night for the rest of your life. Do you understand that?
No.
Jesus.
That sounds horrible.
You do realize that, like, this is a tavern, but people will come to drink and buy our drinks. Correct, Amelia?
Why?
Money! And Lysandra will sort of gesture again to the whole establishment.
You keep saying that like it's an answer to things, and I don't think it is.
It's an answer to everything.
No.
Money can facilitate the acquisition of research materials and smooth over ruffled feathers that may result from certain completely ethical medical experiments.
And you can dissect any drunks that pass out here and aren't important. I said who aren't important, and she'll look at meaningfully at Silver and Squirm.
Okay,
Bad
all right.
drunks.
But to be fair,
I'm
Amelia,
holding you all to that.
you won't have to do that because I doubt we're going to be consistently as busy as we were tonight for opening night. And you can always just stay upstairs in your room. And on busy nights, you don't even have to walk through the tavern to get to the stairs because as we all know and have always known since we bought this place, the stairs to upstairs are outside and around the building.
So at this, Lysandra is like, oh my god, I totally forgot. And she's going to run outside looking for Emic. Because she's been concentrating on the spell this whole time.
I feel like Squirm blinks. Why is it so important that she forgot the stairs are outside?
And I will say, suggestion lasts for up to 8 hours.
Yeah. I looked that up as well. I was thinking like, it's only an hour. Like, oh no. So you're looking around Lysandra. You don't see anyone in the streets.
Do I see any lumps in the snow?
You do see a new snowman though, with a carrot in his nose and a couple pieces of coal and a raggedy top hat.
So Lysandra's going to go up to the snowman. I'm assuming it's right here. And it's obvious she has never dealt really with elements like this before. And she's going to kind of try and punch the snow off the snowman.
Okay. The snowman's head sort of turns to you a little bit and then shakes violently. And you see Emic underneath wiping snow from his hair, and his mouth is just blue, and he's got a really red nose, and yeah, he looks pretty pitiful.
My dear, the closing is over. Maybe you should go home to somewhere warm. And she'll sort of brush the snow off of him. And also, you shouldn't sit outside of our tavern. You're going to get frostbite. don't ever do that again. And she'll sort of brush the snow off. She's also no longer concentrating.
Sounds good. He nods and just like tries to move his legs toward, like he has to basically physically pick up his legs with each hand and kind of walk then in the direction of his own place.
Is he gonna get there?
Probably.
Okay. Silver followed Lysandra out and is watching this, and I apologize in advance for this, but if Silver motions to Nixa to follow him out, would Nixa do that?
Yeah, we'll say she would.
And Silver's gonna walk up to Emek as he's walking. Does he still look kind of like a snowman?
A little bit, yeah. He's got very large clumps of snow clumped to him.
Yeah. So Silver's gonna motion to. I'm so sorry, guys. I just. He's gonna motion to Nixa to go on to Emek's shoulder.
Nixa would flap onto the shoulder and look back at Silver.
And then he's going to look at Lysandra, and he's going to kind of put his hands out kind of presentationally to Emek and be like, Frost Nixa. Frost Nixa?
Oh my gosh.
So Nixa visibly crumbles.
Apologize for this.
I'm so sorry, guys. I just, ever since the first session, I've like thought about like Nixa and Nixon, and I was like, oh, if there's ever the opportunity for Nixa to be like coming up against like an ice attack or like a frost attack, I'm gonna have to make that pun. And since you mentioned the snowman, this was it. I had to do it.
So Nixon's going to crumple, and Lysandra's going to be like, you're better than that, Silver. And motion him up the stairs, and then motion to Nixa and say, I need some sleep so that I can rest and be Agnew. And
oh my gosh.
Agnew! Oh my god! Oh, this was awful.
Sorry.
I was going to say that I feel like TJ's deserved inspiration just for the quality of the improvisation bit.
I will say she did say that for some reason.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Definitely deserves it.
He's not going to get it. That's not the way inspiration works.
No. I will say, my comedy skills aside, that's not how inspiration works. But I love you all. All right.
Is there anyone inside the tavern right now besides Squirm and me? Did you guys come back in?
Yeah, I mean, we brushed ourselves off from the terrible jokes we told, and we're in.
What's the plan for tomorrow? I have something I need to do.
So Lysandra will sort of cock her head at you and say, well, we can... I was thinking we could attempt to figure out the stone and see where that leads us. I mean, untold riches, you know, and she'll roll her eyes as if it's nothing. But do you need help with anything, dear Amelia? Is there anything that we can help you with?
No.
Fair enough. But before we deal with the whole searching for untold riches thing...
And as you say that, Lysandra will cross and lock the door and look outside.
Yeah. I was just saying to Lysandra earlier tonight that it might make sense and fulfill my sacred oath to take vengeance on the Temple of Gond to remove the Temple of Gond players from the whole Stone of Galore game entirely. Not only would that help me to take vengeance on them, but it would also make our attempts at finding the Horde of Dragons just a little bit easier, perhaps.
Just to clarify, did we ever establish that the Temple of Gond itself was involved, or merely that the Temple of Gond is involved in automata and an automaton was involved in the attack.
Second thing.
Lysandra will turn around and say, but who else could build the automata? I mean, do you know of any individual entrepreneurs who could master that sort of thing?
Squirm knows monasteries that could.
Don't automata have autonomy? To a degree.
Actually, Andy, do they?
To a degree, yes.
Okay, point taken. So in that case, I guess what I'll be doing tomorrow is going to ask around at the Temple of God about whether they have some automatons that have gone missing.
Hold on. What are we going to do about the stone? You all...
Safe in my body bag.
But the thing is... So, okay, before I go on...
Moist.
Schluppy. Andy, do we get a general sense of the stone? Like, I'm assuming that, do we know that we can, like, say, attune to it?
Yes. Lysandra specifically, it's an artifact of some renown. You would know some of the properties it has. It certainly can, it needs attunement to work. And you do know that with artifacts of this power come several boons, but also some trials as well. So whoever attunes to it will probably get some good stuff, but also be, have something a bit more difficult to deal with.
So Lysandra will sort of turn to all of the group and say something akin to this, and she'll say, listen, I know that it's important to figure out who committed the atrocity outside of our tavern, but at the same time, untold riches. And she'll look at Silver and Squirm, and then Amelia, and look back at Squirm, and then she'll say, so, I mean, wouldn't it make sense for one of us to try and glean from the stone the knowledge that we can? I feel like at this point, nothing else could even come close to the reward that this stone would give.
Are you saying untold riches are more important than Silver's dead stepfather?
So Lysandra will start to say yes, and then look at Silver. And at Silver's face, which I'm assuming is completely in earnest, at the mention of Randall. Can I assume that?
Sure.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I think it's entirely possible that we can pursue all of these goals at once. There are 4 of us, and frankly, Lysandra does have a point. Not about yes, untold riches are valuable, but...
Untold! And yes. She'll look really, really...
Squirm is almost going to slap the bar with his hand by any means necessary.
Flashback. Yes. Oh, man. That was emotionally taxing. All right. But the longer we have the Stone of Galore in our possession without using it to get to the horde of dragons, the more vulnerable we become. Who knows what parties out there saw us go to the windmill and then go to Cuttle's Cakes or whatever it was, and then saw us running across the roofs, plus that Zentarum girl got away from us at the theater. It's entirely possible that there are people out there who know that we have the stone and will come looking for it. Potentially, right at this moment, they could be standing outside that door right now. Lysandra, open the door to check. Do it kind of dramatically right now. Right, they could be outside the door right now. I'm going to point at it, Lysandra. Are you opening the door?
Lysandra's going to look out the window.
That's a window, not a door.
I always forget.
You see Dwally standing right outside there, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I forgot something."
Open the door to let Dwali in, Lysandra, which the door's open there, and that's a window that you're at, because I can't read maps.
So, Lysandra also is going to insight check Dwali through the door.
Oh, okay.
19 insight. Is she just getting what she wants? Like, I guess is she getting what she left here is a better question.
It appears so. She looks cold, and she looks like she just got back. She's been, with a 19, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so she steps in and runs to the kitchen and picks up.
Yes.
You hear like the jingle of keys or something, and then rushes back out. Good night, everyone. Sorry about that.
And as she leaves, Lysandra's going to grab her hand and say, Dwali, wait! One more insight check for Lysandra.
Okay. A 16.
Do I see anything in her eyes that would suggest that she is being anything other than Dwali and trying to lie to us?
No.
Okay.
She sort of picks up these keys and holds it up to you. Sorry, just the keys.
Lysandra's going to slap another 2 silver in her palm and say, we gave Finnegan extra wages. I just don't feel right about not paying you the same. You've been fantastic this evening. Thank you, Dwali. I'll see you in the morrow.
Oh, dear. Thank you so much. That's so kind. And she'll step back out into the snow.
That was all my fault for doing the whole bit about pointing to the door / window.
Yeah.
And Andy yes-handed me, and then Lysandra was like so distressful.
I will say Lysandra will dock it from your pay, but okay.
But so yeah, I mean, Silver was making a legitimate point that so as I was saying, Amelia, you can do your weird thing, whatever you're going to do tomorrow. Presumably Square might be helping you. I could go ask around at the Temple of Gond, and Lysandra could spend some time in a safe space, not here at the tavern, perhaps, investigating the Stone of Galore. Is there a place, Lysandra, that you could go to do that would be safer, less on people's radar than the Troll Skull Tavern?
There's certainly my house. However, I am, and she's actually looking very uncomfortable. I am not sure I want to let the stone out of any of our possession, nor do I want to tell anyone about it except for us. I mean, I defer to all of
seconds
you.
That.
And
she'll heartily seconds that.
And she'll she'll sort of gesture to all of you and say, I mean, this is kind of the key to the city, and we are the city's keepers. And she kind of gets a glazed look, not unlike a lot of fervent believers in deities. And she'll say, it's kind of our duty to make sure the city keeps running, is it not? I mean,
no.
I not necessarily if you don't want to. And
Amelia.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, but the Thunder will sort of say, and she'll sort of walk over to Amelia and say, but don't you want the best for the city? And she'll put her hand on what I'm assuming is Amelia's very limp hand, who's just standing at her side, or who's sort of at her side. Don't you want what's the best? And she'll look at you, but not really look at you because she's got an idea in her head.
No.
I agree. Wait, what? No?
Yes, I said no. I don't care. Let's go give the stone over to the city guards. This sounds dangerous for us to have.
No. Yes, it's dangerous, but think of the reward, Amelia. I mean, think of how many bodies you could buy with all this gold. I mean, all the cemeteries.
I don't buy my bodies.
Oh, you make
that
sense.
Is true.
Think of how many people you could kill with this gold.
What?
I'm confused. What do you want, Amelia?
Right now, Squirm would be willing to bet even money on you to stop talking.
I want us to not be targets. Silver just made a very compelling argument. None of us were in disguise. None of us were really trying to sneak. I'm pretty fucking noticeable.
Some of us were in disguise. Lysandra will put up her finger and look at all of you. Oh, but yes.
I mean, technically, I was as much in disguise as I ever am because I had my hood pulled over. But
and I will say, Lysandra had invisibility up the entire time. So, yes, I don't want anything bad to happen to you all. Yes.
Do you?
Actually, Lysandra will look at you, and she looks pained when she says this, but you get the sense she means it. No, you're a decent person, Amelia.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that I wasn't suggesting that we tell anybody that we have the Stone of Law. That would be patently absurd. All I'm suggesting, and Amelia, I'm not saying we should take it to the city guard. Yes, we put ourselves in a precarious position, but we're all in this together now, Amelia, and I don't want you backing out on us. All I'm saying is we should take precautions tomorrow about sneaking Lysandra to an undisclosed secret location so that nobody, absolutely nobody, can follow, and that you have complete privacy when you're working with the Stone of Galore.
And Lysandra will sort of pipe up, excuse me, the last time somebody said they were sneaking me to an undisclosed location that was all mysterious, it was in college, and it was for a hazing ritual. It was terrible. So,
can you describe this hazing ritual in just a bit more detail? Because I know you're capable of it.
The thing is, I was not 40 years old when I was being paddled, so it won't be of any interest to you.
Squirm at this point is going to wrap very sharply his scabbard against the flagstone.
Yes. I'm sorry, Squirm.
The points are valid. The stone is a hazard to us, yes. However, there are items within it that Squirm requires.
You don't know that the sword is there.
I have spent 4 years crawling through this city looking for it.
Would we know how old kobolds live to?
4.5.
You would know that rarely very long, given the nature of kobold existence. You would also know that they can live quite long as a species.
And this is both as editor and as player. Was that an intentional usage of the pronoun I for Squirm?
Yes.
Well, so was that, and that was maybe the first intentional usage of the pronoun I that we've heard?
Yes, that is the first time.
Yeah,
that is the first time Lysandra or Silver would have heard Squirm ever refer to himself as I.
Yeah, and so there have been some instances where you slipped up and I wasn't able to fix it. So this is officially on record as the others were just mistakes, and there were only maybe 1 or 2 of them, I think. But this one, I just wanted to highlight as Silver would have turned and widened his eyes at the intensity with which Squirm just spoke, and the fact that he used the word I instead of Squirm. It was a good moment.
The other points are that we need to remain as secure as possible. I think we should take the stone, make it what use of it we can. Check the treasure. See if what I require is there. After that, we can skim a bit from the top. It won't take much to be everything we need for the rest of our lives. And then I say we do turn it over. Make ourselves heroes because we're not going to survive long enough to be able to use all the treasure that's in there.
Lysandra will sort of turn to Squirm and very intently look him in the eyes and say, perhaps a bit more than the top, just to make sure the city is well run. And she'll sort of look at the others furtively, but then she'll say to Squirm, Squirm, you take whatever you need from the vault. You have my word. Can we have the word that if he finds his sword at least? And she'll look at both of them and say, well?
Yes, of course. Amelia?
I don't care if he has a sword or not. I mean, I do because I want him to find his sword. But I still think this is all a terrible idea.
Oh, yes, it's a terrible idea, dear Amelia. But at the same time, what would you have us do? We have
I literally said already, give the stone to the city guards.
But what would happen? They would run the city into the ground. I mean, how do we know the city guard can run the city as well as we can? I know that's not
Why
much.
are you assuming the city guards would run the city? And also, I don't want to run the city, Lysandra. Have I ever indicated to you or anyone else that I am in any way interested in running a city?
Nope.
And Lysandra will sort of look at you like she's never understood you before and sort of say, no, you've been quite honest about that. This is true. That being said, I don't think this should be put into the hands of just anyone. Amelia, you're not a bad person. And she'll look at your body bag slightly, and then she'll look at you again. This amount of money could cause a lot of good or a lot of hardship. What do you want?
I want to be safe. And right now, the thing threatening my safety is this money.
I see. Amelia, I will say that this stone will have more information about what's inside of it once we attune to it. And she'll sort of have a glint in her eye. You seem to be more preoccupied with knowledge than anything else.
Specific knowledge.
How does one gain specific knowledge? From general knowledge?
No, from experiments.
Yes, but would you know how to experiment without general knowledge?
Probably.
Really? Lysandra will look sort of skeptically at you. I say one of us attuned to this stone. She'll sort of indicate herself or you. I do not care which. I would like to know more so the nature of this.
Does the stone know the things I care about?
We won't know until we ask it, now will we? And she'll sort of flick her fingers in the air dramatically and then realize that she's talking to you and sort of lower her hand. Yes, we won't know, will we? Until we try to ask it, see what its knowledge contains. And she'll sort of gesture at your bag. Now, would you like to try, or shall I?
I'm not sure this is a good idea.
Since when was that ever relevant to our decision making?
It's always relevant to my decision making.
Tell you what. And Lysandra's kind of gonna sort of have Nixa flap over to her. You may kill me if the stone takes me over. Let me first try and do what I can to protect myself, unless you want to attune to the stone.
Was the I'm just asking for so was the possibility of Lysandra being taken over by the stone a danger that Amelia was aware of?
Oh no! Lysandra is
that just made this argument
also
so much worse.
The thing is, Lysandra is also, you can tell, like, she's trying to feel out what you guys are trying to say here. She's going to say, I'm not sure what you're afraid of. But
I don't know how to be more clear, although I'm also now afraid of the stone taking you over. But
I don't think that's going to happen. We've examined the stone, by the way, right?
Have we had the chance
the physical properties of it, you've all seen it, yeah.
Has
Let
Lysandra done an Arcana check? And also, she'll let Amelia do an Arcana check.
Yeah, you've done an Arcana check to basically tell what it is and its basic sort of properties, Lysandra.
Do we think that the stone will take Lysandra over?
No, you don't think so, no.
Does Amelia think that? Amelia? Like Andy, I guess. Andy and Amelia.
You
the
need
thought
an
had
Arcana
crossed
check,
Amelia's
Amelia.
mind, had it.
But yeah, that seems rare.
Okay, so Lysandra was going to say, like, worse.
17.
I should have said,
unlikely.
like, before, I should have prefaced that with, you know, on the very rare occasion that the stone might take one of us over, you're allowed to kill me. But Lysandra doesn't think that that's going to be the case. I will also say Lysandra's told all of you all the information she knows about the stone, and it would seem that she doesn't think that that's the case.
So, 2 things, Lysandra. I don't need permission to kill you, and I don't really give a shit about the stone taking you over. I don't think that's a possibility. I don't know how to say this more clearly. I'm not scared of the stone. I don't want the people who are after it coming after us. They already blew up Silver's stepfather.
So Lysandra will look directly into Amelia's eyes and say, "You're always so kind, Amelia. Yes, if I attune to the stone, and whatever happens, I don't know, something terrible happens to me, get rid of me and the stone. That way you're not in danger anymore." And she'll raise her eyebrow at you, Amelia. That sound all right? That way you're not in any danger?
That is not addressing my primary concern, and I feel like you are not understanding my primary concern.
Then give it to the Zentarum. I'm not sure what you want to do with the stone.
I have said twice now that I want to give it to the city guards.
So once I'm dead, give it to the city guard. I'm not sure what's the problem. Give it to who you want. Give it to your grandmother.
Okay, all right. How about this? Amelia, give me the stone right now, because we clearly are not in agreement about what to do with it. You are afraid of being a target for having it in your possession. So how about this? You no longer have to have anything to do with it. Lysandra and Squirm and I will handle that. And you can handle yourself. All right? We can still be business partners. We're all part owners of the Troll Skull Tavern, but clearly we are in disagreement about what to prioritize about next steps. This does not have to have anything to do with the business. We'll take the stone.
I live here, and so do the 3 of you.
That's what I'm well, okay, so if we can get the stone away from here, that's part of the point I was making earlier, is the more we can make Troll Skull Tavern not a target, not a focus of people's attention, the better. So maybe we could focus on that rather than the particulars. Would that help? I don't even know.
Squirm is going to sort of stop and is just going to be looking at Amelia. You and I both know that moving the stone away from here, ostentatiously giving it to someone, etc., doesn't change the likelihood that we're targeted. Not by that much. What could reduce the danger is using the stone, finding the treasure hoard, not for the money. I don't care about the money. And using it to find items that will help make us safe. Information, magics. Who the hell knows what Neverember stored there? And doing that quickly. That is the thing that will make us safest. Also, by no means hand the stone to Sparkles.
Kind of frown.
And Lysandra will sort of nod and say, "You're very noble, my dear friend, but..."
Long, winding, sun-bleached. Silver, you basically gave a toast about how you wanted to kill everyone who was causing conflict in the city of Waterdeep.
When
At an
did
opening
he do
where you knew that there was a Zentarum affiliate in the room.
He did that tonight?
Yeah.
Are you trying
Yes.
to get us killed, Silver?
Well, no, I'm trying to get the dangerous elements to come out of the shadows. Was that not the best way
Why?
to do that?
You do realize that when the more dangerous elements of society come out of the shadows, it's often because they've used a fireball to remove the shadows.
Yeah, no, well, right. You know what? Now that I think back to my toast, I will say that perhaps it wasn't the most prudent decision that I could have made at that moment, but it was pretty well received by the people here. On a scale of 1 to 20, I'd say it was about a 14. I recall.
Why on earth would any sane individual use a scale of 1 to 20?
Right? I'm not really sure.
And Lysandra will sort of look to the back wall. Did you feel that fourth wall rumble? At any rate,
You know what? Now that I've thought about it for a moment, fuck all you guys. I'm here for an oath of vengeance, so I don't give a shit about the safety of Troll Skull Tavern. I want them to come and get us so that I can kill them right back. How about that?
Lysandra's going to snap at you, Silver. Silver, you're still better than this. You're better than sheer temper. Calm down, please.
Yeah, well, Amelia's the one who's being a total thorn in our side. No.
Are you going to fight a fireball?
Nobody's going to cast a fireball in my beloved tavern. And she'll sort of put her hand on Amelia's shoulder. Listen, we're all in this together. Let's try and figure out a way to do this together. And she'll look at the group. Please. That was a very plaintive please, you guys.
Yeah,
Amelia's
literally
just
like
standing there in silence.
Everyone looks to Amelia mostly.
I mean, I was sitting here like looking down with this like frown on my face, like I was acting out Silver's reaction to that. like it was a great moment, but yeah, like I think none of us respond right away because it's like, well, shit, what the fuck are we gonna do?
And the thing is, Lysandra will say to all of you, listen, all of us have been through quite a lot for this. Let's at least try and figure out a mutually beneficial solution for everybody. That's the logical thing, right, Amelia? And she'll look at Amelia. And the best thing for you, Silver. And Squirm, I want you to have what you need as much as anyone else. And she'll look at Squirm. Listen, we need to do this in the right way. We are, in a way, stewards of the city, but even if you do not care about that, we're stewards of the rest of our own fates right now. This stone can change everything.
Why do you keep saying we're stewards of the city?
It's just what's important to me, you know, backstory and all. I know you do not care about the city, Amelia, but do you not care about where you are going and what you are doing? Money can make that so much easier, but even if it's not money, it's knowledge. Who knows what's unlocked by this stone? Who knows what untold secrets are held in this vault? Reyna, if he is correct, is not just speaking of physical riches. He's speaking of great knowledge. He's speaking of great untold mysteries. This city is older than any of us, and these things that are locked away are older than the city. Do you not want to know about them? And she'll look at you, and she's very earnest when she says this, Amelia.
As if Amelia gives a shit.
Lysandra, I feel like you're not understanding.
No,
Of course
obviously
I
I'm
care
not.
about my goals. I care about where I'm going. I need to figure out how to make people immortal. It's very important.
What
But-
makes you think that somebody who had these riches wouldn't know how to do that?
But I can't figure out how to make people immortal if I'm dead.
That's true. So we kill the people who want to kill us first. And now she looks completely deranged. So we kill the people who want to kill us first. And then we take the gold. I'm not sure what we're missing here.
Why would I want the gold?
All the secrets, all the knowledge, they're all the same. And you can tell that she was just fronting. She really just cares about the gold, Amelia.
I agree with Squirm that they're probably going to come after us anyways, especially given Silver's declaration of war tonight. So, we can try to get ahead of the game and use the stone, but we have to do it safely.
And quickly, yes?
Probably.
That was my original point. Just saying.
Your original point was that you declared war on the gangs warring in the city, so now we're fucked.
You know what, Amelia? We are no more fucked than we were already. My original point was that we need to take care of the stone quickly and secretly and safely. I'm going to do an insight check on Lysandra because,
Because she's coming fucking unhinged.
the deranged fact and the fact that, and Amelia has kept on saying that, like, you are not understanding me, and Silver knows that Lysandra is intelligent enough. So, like, something feels off, and I'm going to do an insight check on Lysandra.
Because Lysandra is like halfway to like the Pepe Sylvia meme. Like,
oh yes. And the thing is, go ahead, go for it.
Yeah,
11
with an
insight.
11 insight.
What would you like me to roll, Andy?
I don't feel like you're trying to deceive anything. I think
Lysandra-
that Silver is probably having a hard time understanding why Lysandra seems a bit more raw and unpolished about this than normal. But I think probably that's about all.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Is what I would guess.
That's fine. So,
Feel free to ask, though. I mean, Lysandra's busy being Lysandra, so.
well, no. I mean, Silver sensed a little budge in Amelia's attitude from the last thing she said. So Silver will just look at Amelia and say, "So now that we're all in agreement that something has to be done, my toast notwithstanding, are you going to help us or not?"
Yes.
Great. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night. Silver is heading out the door. Oh, unless we
that's the window.
God damn it!
Good night. Silver out.
Yeah. I was also going to say, like, Lysandra sounded like she kind of wanted to attune to it now, and it's probably only going to take 10 minutes or so if you want to do it quickly.
So,
But do what you want.
like,
Silver runs into the window and then
How many Toff's vintages did you drink?
Silver, remember the game we played when we first met? Window, door.
when and where did we play that, TJ?
In your parlor with your mother when she was determining if I was the right person for you.
It's brilliant. Oh my gosh. Don't ever question TJ.
That's amazing. No, I wasn't. I just wanted to know because that's perfect.
So funny.
I was going to say, because come on, it's Silver. Like, window, door. Like, I'm going to go away now. Bump. Silver, honey.
God
Okay.
damn it.
Anyways.
Right.
So Lysandra will sort of look around. Listen, I will try to glean the secrets from this thing. Are you in? Can I trust all of you? And she'll look at Silver as he's bumping into the window. Silver, you're too good to not trust. Just come back.
Amelia, give Lysandra the stone so that she can attune to it.
And Lysandra will have her hand out, but she's not trying to take the stone from you, Amelia. She's just kind of earnestly like, will you give me the stone? So do with that what you will.
Amelia's going to kind of look at Squirm questioningly.
Squirm's vote is that we use the stone. But Squirm's vote also has a condition.
Lysandra will look to Squirm. Yes?
Writhe decides who attunes to the stone.
She'll look at Amelia. Amelia? Yes? I trust you. And she'll lower her hand.
Fine.
If you wish the knowledge from it yourself, Squirm is fine with you taking it. My promise still stands. I will protect you as best I am able. If the dangers of using that thing, if you feel they are too much, Squirm can attune to it.
I could attune to it too, Silver says as he's rubbing his head from what he ran.
Squirm genuinely wishes that you would forget that we had it so that you don't have another toast about the Stone of Galore.
To the Stone of Galore, everybody.
Oh God, why did Squirmy even vaguely suggest that? No. Mistakes.
The thing is, Lysandra will sort of look at Silver and sort of shake her head like, no, it's not the moment, Silver.
Amelia, they all look at you.
Do I feel like Lysandra's been acting weird or being genuine with us? Can I roll an insight check?
Sure. Uh-huh.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that's not better. I rolled a 6.
A 6. I'm a little weird. It's hard to say if this is genuine and everything else has been a little bit of a mask, or if what you're seeing now is a little bit more genuine. Yeah.
Lysandra also was acting. To be fair, you probably saw through most of it, but Lysandra was kind of acting weird to begin with for this night. You don't know if, like, we've had a really shitty day and she really wanted this to come off like a great opening, and she's like just tired. That's kind of how I would phrase it, is like, we're all exhausted and Lysandra's kind of crazy from exhaustion, but at the same time we all are, so we're all kind of on the same level.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Also, I know how unhelpful that description was. Sorry.
That's about as helpful as a 6 gets.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody write me an essay.
Oh my
3 to 5 pages, double spaced, saying why you should be the one to attune to the stone.
Are you completely serious about this?
No.
Okay,
Silver pulls several napkins over to himself.
Yes! He starts writing and he's speaking out loud as he writes. Why?
Lysandra would literally hand you in an essay an hour and a half later saying, I'm sorry about any spelling errors. I just want to get it into you as quickly as possible.
I was going to say, Squirm is also going to sigh. He was used to hearing that at the monastery. So he's like, Squirm fucking hates. He seems sort of rummaging through his pack for writing supplies.
Lysandra would hand him a freshly sharpened pencil. Oh my gosh, I have like 18 of these. Here you go. I carry them at all times.
That seems like an impaling hazard.
It is, but I feel like nobody can, actually tell of the fantastic wonders of a freshly sharpened number 2 pencil until chew on one and then give it to you. The taste.
Okay, Squirm, Lysandra.
At any rate, that never happened.
As
What
great
actually happened?
Yeah, like
In the interest of brevity,
yeah, Silver was about to say,
Amelia
I think Amelia was just joking.
has thought this over, and
How strongly does Amelia think that the stone might know the secrets to immortality?
I mean, who would know that? You have no idea.
I mean, the thing is, you and I probably would have observed it or from an Arcana standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, so the thing is, like, Andy, if we had rolled proficiently in our Arcanas, like, I guess, would Lysandra have any special insight?
Not in particular. You know, it has something to do with secrets and keeping secrets. But
You said it
what
was
those
very
secrets
old.
are. Yes, and it is very
Right?
old. And what those secrets are,
Okay.
you're just not exactly sure.
I believe you also said that it was a creature that had been almost made into this.
Right. After the stream last time, I described it a little bit, and you did kind of get the sense that it might be a creature that was...
So it in itself
or
has
its
some
essence,
semblance
yeah.
of immortality.
Right. Some sort of essence is in this thing.
And Amelia would know that, not just Lena.
Amelia, mostly Lysandra, but Lysandra probably shared that with you on the walk back.
I guess I'll attune to it.
Amelia, you have all of my support. Anything I can do.
Okay.
Okay, Amelia, you made the decision and you have the stone in the satchel in your hand. What would you like to do?
Attune to it.
All right. Do you kind of step up to the bar and place the satchel on the top and remove this elongated green sort of stone with what looks to be 3 eye carvings on it?
Also, Andy, I will say anything I can do as a magic user to help Amelia, I will do.
Okay.
I'm keeping watch at the window.
Give
I was
me a
going to say I
perception
would
check.
make sure the curtains were drawn and
Okay. Yeah. Yep. And Silver, give me a perception check. 15. With the 15, the night seems still. You don't see the falling snow has covered up pretty much any tracks that have been outside now at this point. So, you don't see anything out there. All the curtains are shut. And Amelia, as you sort of reach out your will to this thing, it becomes very clear to you very quickly that this is not simply an item, but a mental presence even. And your eyes shut, and there's a slow sort of blue light that emanates from your fingers as they surround the stone, and your mind begins to kind of negotiate almost with this creature. And then Lysandra and Squirm are standing next to you, and they're watching the blue light in the stone. And about after 10 minutes or so, Amelia, you open your eyes again, but so does the stone. All 3 of them open up to brown irises and black pupils. And let's take a break there. Let's go to the bathroom. take a drink, take a moment, and we'll come back in just a little bit. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Yes,
Sounds good to me. All right, everybody, we will be back in just a few minutes.
Hey, and welcome back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist, the Terrace House edition. Anyone get that joke?
I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I do. I'm
Anyway.
not laughing, but I do.
Anyway, Amelia, you've just attuned to the Stone of Galore.
Oh, God. So creepy.
While attuned to this artifact, you can cast Alter Self at least once per day, and you roll a 1 through 5 on a d6. You can only do it once per day, but if you roll a 6, you could keep doing it again until you roll 1 through 5. Also, if you are more, if you are more than 10 feet away from this artifact, you are blinded. And at some point in the future, when you become unattuned to it, you feel that it has its claws kind of in you a little bit already, and that's not going to be a pleasant feeling for you. So if you don't have to unattune to it, you probably don't want to. You also gain the ability to ask a legend lore of this creatures trapped in the stone. And you believe that this would be the best way to get across looking for the vault and whatever may be needed to open the vault. So if you want to do that now, totally fine.
So also, I just want to pause because for people on the podcast, because for the stream we have this completely horrifying image. For people on the podcast, imagine a drawing of like a French baguette made out of dinosaur skin with three really pissed off looking eyes in the center of it.
But in a really like sexy Ron Jeremy way.
Okay.
Strike that last section from the record.
I don't know. It fits.
Anything that should ever be said by humans.
So, Amelia, what would you like to do?
Oh, I'm going to explain all that to the party so they know the situation I'm in. So,
Okay.
You do believe that you could ask for information 3 times from this thing per day at the most.
Okay.
And it regains 1 to 3 charges of that every day. So you get 3 chances today and then at least 1 tomorrow.
And it would make sense because she knows that it goes off of dawn.
Right.
To get all 3 in right now, because she also knows that there's no from the information she has, there's no downside to it running out of charges, correct?
Right. Yeah. It's just slow to recharge.
So, do you guys want me to talk to it now?
Yes, if possible.
All right. So if I'm going to do all 3 charges, should I just roll 3d4 at once?
Let's do it 1 at a time.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Okay.
It makes no sense not to do it 1 at a time and see what you get each time.
I will say, if Lysandra can do anything to aid Amelia as a fellow spellcaster, she will be doing this.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
All right. You sort of reach your mind out to it, and then a voice lightly flits into your head, and it says, "What would you like to know? Do you want to know some secrets, do you?
Oh my god.
Why?
Then why don't you tell me a secret? Tell me what your secrets are, and I'll tell you one."
What is this accent?
I was going to say, is this
It's several things.
I was going to say,
It's several things.
it's a Swedish person who got taught English as a second language by
From an
someone
Irishman.
from County Kerry, Ireland.
This is this is the IKEA production of Riverdance, is what it is.
This is that Irish episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation that everybody hates.
Do I feel like I have to speak the secret out loud to
Yes,
the
Of
Irish
course you
stone?
do. Speak the secret out loud.
It can't read my mind.
No, I can't. It doesn't have to be.
Andy, I'm
doesn't
talking
have-
to you, not the stone.
It doesn't have to be you. It could be anyone.
Well, who has a secret they want to share?
Do you just say this like after the stone starts glowing unprompted?
Is it talking out loud or is it in my head?
Just in your head. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so yes.
I once, I don't know, was attracted to someone 2 classes lower than me at least. She'll look determinedly at the stone like this is a revelation.
At that, one of the eyes closes. And Amelia, you hear in your head, "Num num 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 num. That tasted good.
Jesus Christ.
So here's a secret. Are you ready for a secret? Here's a secret.
Yes.
I'm responsible for my mother's death. That was your secret. Do you want to try again, lass?
Did that sound like the horrible voice of the stone, or like was it spoken in someone else's voice?
It felt like that was spoken in someone else's voice.
Did I recognize the voice at all?
No.
Okay. So far, all it's told me is that someone told it that they're responsible for their mother's death.
Who isn't responsible for their mother's death?
Me? I'm not.
I lied about that secret anyway. It was just somebody who was 1 class lower than me.
Squirm is going to outright roll his eyes at Lysandra. So, does it have a deep, booming, mystical voice?
No.
Oh, you didn't mean my date. I'm sorry, Squirm. Continue.
If you'd like to ask it another time,
Yeah.
here, go ahead and roll another d4.
I rolled a 4.
And someone go ahead and give it another secret. I would like another secret from someone.
Who else wants to share a secret with it?
Maybe the little one. Maybe the sparkly one. Who knows?
I just want to say I strongly regret attuning to this thing.
Did you say that out loud, or are you saying
Yes.
that like in your mind to it? Is it harming you? Squirm's
No,
like fist is
it's
now
just
raised.
really annoying.
And Lysandra will say, I strongly regret dating someone not of my class. It was terrible. I mean,
Lysandra, no one cares.
Silver's gonna nod with his eyes just wide, looking at the floor, because this is all way out of his wheelhouse.
if you nod, Lysandra will say, as if you never dated someone out of your... Oh, wait. Mommy dearest. Never mind.
Squirm is just going to shudder.
What's that supposed to mean? I've been on plenty of
Another
dates.
secret, please.
Okay.
Another secret, please. Another secret.
Squirm is going to sort of lean forward, since from what happened with Lysandra, it seemed like you need to speak to it. Squirm fears that his master's faith in him is not justified.
Another eyelid closes. And Amelia, you hear in your head, tasty. Jesus! And then another voice, gruffer, which says, "The Vault of Dragons lies beneath the Brandeis family mausoleum in the City of the Dead."
Please spell that.
Which
name
part?
of the family.
Which part?
The family name.
Oh, the family part. That's the Brandath. Brandath.
In the City of the Dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I feel like this has now turned into the Monty Python bit, where it's like they're looking at the wall carving. Arg! Don't be stupid. No one would carve arg.
It says the Vault of Dragons lies beneath the Brandath mausoleum in the City of the Dead. Is that what we're looking for?
What about Junior Prom? Lysandra's sort of looking.
Lysandra, do you need something?
No. I'm sorry. Continue.
A nap?
She'll sort of quiet down.
You do have one more charge tonight, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll use it.
All right. Roll a d4.
I rolled a 1 again.
A 1. All right. Another question from someone. I wouldn't mind it if it were the tall one.
It wants another secret.
From me?
Well, it said it wouldn't mind it from you.
Silver will look kind of uncomfortably at everybody, and then he'll sigh, and he'll lean down to the stone, and he'll say, I was breastfed until I was 12.
Jesus Christ.
Oh dear, that was a secret, wasn't it? My.
Obviously, that wasn't Amelia saying Jesus Christ. That was Lena.
Yeah. The third eye closes. And Amelia, you hear in your head. Well, I suppose, so I'm a stable master, see? But if there's one thing I'm afraid of is horses. I hate them. The long faces, the big teeth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. That's it.
Do I recognize that voice?
Give me a history check.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, lovely, my dear.
No, you don't. You'd never heard this. I apologize that the 20 was on something
It's
that was
fine.
just not impossible. It was impossible. It sounds like one of your school teachers when you were young, but no.
I didn't have school teachers when I was young.
Well, that's probably why then.
This is going well.
All right, all three lids have closed for the evening. You definitely feel that though you know the place of the Vault of Dragons, you do not know how to get in it. That information still seems to be locked, but you can't quite get at it tonight.
Okay,
So, you could try again tomorrow.
cool. Do you guys know where the Brandath family mausoleum is?
Do we?
We all know where the City of the Dead is, right?
Certainly, yes. Give me a history check from all of you.
Yeah, ratio. Ba, 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 ba.
All right. Amelia with an 18, Squirm with a 15, Lysandra with a 20, and Silver with a 17.
I'd like to point out that's probably our best collective roll
Yeah.
ever.
All of you have known where this mausoleum. It's one of the larger and more ornate decorated ones in the City of the Dead, which is here in the city.
So sort of the northeasterly portion of it for those who are listening, not looking.
Is that just a huge cemetery?
Yeah, I mean, is this like Central Park but with dead people?
Sort of, yeah. These are all
So
large
Central Park.
mausoleums, small buildings dedicated to the dead of certain noble families. And then, in fact, Lysandra, you know that this family is the one that Dagald Neverember had married into. So this was his wife's family tomb.
Okay.
And then this is where it seems like he hid the money underneath it.
I guess my question would be, have I ever heard of a way into it, or have I ever heard legends about it that I could intuit something from it?
You have heard that there is a tree in front of it that can move, and it slaps people if they wait too long in front of the mausoleum. Gawky.
So, a polite whomping willow.
Yes, is what you've heard.
Okay, I will share that knowledge with the group as I can.
Okay.
Squirm's not sure he's ever punched a tree before.
I'm not sure they have knees, Squirm, but maybe we should sleep on this until we're all rested. But she's going to look at the bag that Amelia is carrying. Well, actually, at the stone because it's on the bar now. She's actually going to look out the windows too. I'm not sure it's best that we all sleep at the same time. She's going to look out the bar window. Is anyone that we can see outside the bar window looking in?
Give me a perception check.
I'd also drawn the curtains.
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd
so-
drawn all the curtains.
Okay, so that accounts for Lysandra not being able to see out of them. Because
You quickly just pull it back just a little bit, and you don't see anyone out there. And
so Lysandra will say, "Oh my god, I have great taste in velvets." At any rate, yes, I think maybe we should stay awake and watch wherever we keep this, and she'll nod at the stone, until we bring this to its conclusion. Yes, I will volunteer for the first night's watch, and she'll sort of bring out a book and say, "Yeah, I have some things to look up upon as well. I feel that all of us should get some rest though, because tomorrow is going to be a hard one, whatever we choose to do."
kind of oddly enough, Amelia's room would probably be the safest place for this thing, like in that tallmost tower.
Yeah, and actually, like she will hand the stone to Amelia, and say, "Amelia, feel free to take this. Put this in your bag. Yes, I will watch the ladder to your room. I'm assuming it's a ladder and not a staircase because it's a attic room.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But would someone help me throughout the night, because I feel like this is rather important?" Yes, and she'll nod at everybody.
As Squirm specified, Squirm will defend Writhe as best Squirm can.
As will Lysandra defend the I mean, Writhe. Lysandra will defend Writhe.
All right.
All right.
For just a second, as you sort of do that, and this almost might have been, you and Squirm have both been sort of jocular and knowing vis-a-vis Silver at times, Lysandra.
Yeah.
You look at Squirm, and possibly for the first time, you feel the full depth of his training and that knowledge looking at you and not at all swerving away.
And Lysandra will sort of look back and say, Lysandra will make sure that Amelia is safe.
Ghosty? Need another drink?
You'd looked over and you never saw him actually drink, like move the cup, but it's empty.
That's a yes. I'll pour out another sort of couple fingers of the liquor and then
All right.
hop down off the bar and trundle to the outside.
All right. As you put out the fires, lock up for the night, and all of you kind of head upstairs. Who wants first watch?
Lysandra will take first watch. She will also sort of say, I wish I had eaten some. Oh, look, a banana in my pocket. Yes. Because that's what TJ would say. All right.
Nice.
First watch.
Okay. I assume you're probably just even in Amelia's room, checking out, looking out the windows.
I am at the bottom of the ladder. So the thing is, I'm assuming Amelia can probably deal with anything that flies in because there's glass in the windows, yes? So they'd have to break it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, Lysandra will sort of stay at the bottom of the ladder. She'll sort of set up a little, comfortable post where there's like a chair and some blankets. But she will stay awake. What do you want? Perception check?
Please.
Also, Nixa will be watching too, but a 23 for perception for Lysandra.
Excellent. 23. Nixa can give you advantage, we'll say.
Beautiful. So we'll say 23 still.
Okay. So 23, you feel you have everything locked down. You have a really good vantage point on the alley, Trollskull Alley. Nothing is moving. Everyone's in for the night. The lanterns have gone out. It's really dark, but you don't see anything moving around.
Beautiful. So Lysandra will report that to whoever's on next watch, and she'll go to
whoever's
bed.
Next. Yeah. Squirm, give me a perception roll.
I will also leave Nixa with anyone who has watch. I will say familiars don't need to rest. So can Nixa give advantage if she feels something is?
Yeah, we'll say, yeah, Nixa will help kind of look out for any movement, and that'll help draw your eye.
I was going to say, and Squirm is actually going to set things up, especially if like Lysandra relayed that Nixa is there to help watch. And you'd set up, like you said, sort of a comfortable little watch area down there where like you had a light and stuff. TG, you'd said that?
Yes. So basically,
just you had a little sitting area.
Lysandra would have like pulled like an armchair over and some covers, and sort of made a fire in that little area.
So beautiful. Squirm is going to very carefully pull the blanket over Nixa in the armchair height, so it looks like there's a person sitting there.
Okay.
And Nixa would. The thing is, Lysandra would also say, "Send Nixa to me if anything goes wrong," and she'll sort of pet Nixa and try and explain this to Nixa as well as best she can.
And then Squirm is actually going to basically keep watch from the top of the ladder so that he's particularly if there would be any disturbances up there, if there's anything he's hearing from below. And also if someone was going to come in a door at this lower level, they would likely be surprised by Kobold landing on them from 10 feet up.
I love it. All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage, Squirm.
Sorry, I missed the advantage. So 16. It'll be 16.
All right. With a 16, you also feel the night goes by very quietly. You do see during your watch a cart being driven by 2 horses. And it kind of stops at sort of the northernmost end of Trollskull Alley and waits there for probably about 10 minutes and then moves on again. But that's all the movement you saw.
At like 3 a.m?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds suspicious. Okay.
And Silver, do you take a watch?
Yeah, if somebody wakes me up and makes me do it.
I assume Squirm would.
Actually, no, Squirm wouldn't.
Okay. You're going to keep going, Squirm?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you don't get a good night's rest tonight. And if you do this probably tomorrow night, it would incur a bit of exhaustion. But you think you can stand it tonight? Give me another perception check.
Still with advantage because of Nixa?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, thank God for that advantage. 10.
All right, 10. And with a 10 Squirm, you are getting a little sleepy, and holding your position kind of at the top of the ladder is getting a little hard. And you realize you're not quite watching as diligently as before, but you also don't see anything. Everything seems quiet.
So that should take us to Silver's been asleep for 6 hours then.
Yep.
And it's given that we went until close and then talked for a chunk afterwards, I'm assuming it's getting to be light out.
Yes, at this point. Yeah.
And I'll say to Nixa, can you go get Silver?
Nixa will nod vigorously and then go and flap to Silver's room and slip in through the crack in the door and start knocking on Silver in, like, she'll start knocking on his head and then knocking on his armor. I'm assuming Silver didn't take off his armor for sleeping.
I would have, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
So Nixa will sort of knock on his head gently and then slither in his ear and then knock on his head again.
What? Is this about that? Are you mad at me about the Frost Nixa joke earlier? Do you get it? First of all, you have to be aware of Waterdavian politics from several decades ago.
And so Nixa's going to wrap around Silver's throat and attempt to flap up and point toward the open door.
Oh, they must want me to keep watch on the whole Stone of Galore business. All right. Thank you, Nixa. No need for any more strangling me. I'm up.
She will lick you on the nose, but a little harder, and try and poke you in the eye, but she still lovingly.
Nixa, could you help me get my armor on?
The winged serpent will flap dumbly at you for a bit.
Well, I'm going to put my armor on, and if you think of any way that you can help to make it go faster, you do that.
Nixa's going to try and push the door all the way open so you can see to the ladder.
He's on a different floor even.
A different floor? Okay. So Nixa's just going to push the door all the way open, so you have to get in your armor naked with the door open.
Yeah, Silver doesn't care. He's putting on his armor. And when that's done, he'll go and keep watch.
All right, Squirm. So about half an hour kind of after dawn, after Nix has left to go get Silver kind of clunks up the stairs again.
So Nixa will try and convey to you, Squirm. However, a winged serpent familiar conveys, I'm sorry it took so long.
I'd also like to point out that Squirm has not budged from the darkness at the top of the ladder.
So Nixa will actually fly up to the darkness on the top of the ladder so Silver can't see Nixa. Mm-hmm. And Nixa will try and speak this to Squirm in, camaraderie reptilian fashion. But, Nixa's just trying to explain that Silver is Silver.
All right. As dawn approaches, Amelia, you also kind of wake up, partly because you sense the presence of the stone wake up a little bit. Then you open your eyes and look at what you've basically been cradling all night, and one of its eyes has popped open.
Oh God, this is way too early to be awake. Go back to sleep, Stone.
Where I come from, sometimes night lasts for several days.
Good.
And morning lasts for several weeks.
That's horrifying.
I know.
I'm just going to say once Silver has gotten into the little base camp, Squirm is going to drop down onto his shoulder. Hello.
Hello, I'm here to keep watch. Did you see anything in the night that I should be aware of?
Cart came, paused at the north entrance to the alley for several minutes, which normally wouldn't be quite so weird, but 3 a.m. made it a bit odd.
Indeed. All right. Off to bed, you little guy. How about that? Should I call you? No on.
So Nixa is literally shaking her head like, that's a bad idea.
Squirm would not recommend.
Fair enough.
Nixa will actually flap around your knees in a slightly concerned fashion.
Whose knees?
Your Silver.
Get off of me, Nixa. What are you doing? I'm keeping watch. This is important paladin business.
She'll sort of use her head and point to Squirm and then your kneecap.
I always hated charades.
Silver, give me a perception check.
It's like Squirm's going to flop into bed and chompers will come up.
Nice. 19 Silver. And Amelia, I also just kind of realized I didn't know if Amelia went to bed right away, went to sleep basically right away after everything. She certainly would have been tired enough to, but it's up to you whether you worked on any projects or anything that night.
What time was it?
It was like nearing like 1 a.m. almost. By the time you guys got settled up there.
So she probably would have stayed up for a couple of hours, mostly just organizing her body bag, because she's got all those chopped up stable master bits in it.
Certainly, yeah. Certainly. All right. And so Silver, with a 19 perception, you see the Trollskull Alley kind of awaken again. The snow had stopped during the night. There's some of the dung sweepers are now clearing off the streets as best they can of the heavy snow. And it's a very bright, crisp morning, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
So what would you all like to do as everyone kind of starts to wake up a little bit, perhaps except Amelia?
So I will say that Lysandra is probably sleeping in unless somebody wakes her up.
If nobody wakes Amelia up, she's sleeping too. But did the stone wake her up?
It woke her up, but she could have gone to sleep again.
She probably would have.
Silver is preparing spells while he keeps watch.
All
He's spending some time in prayer and meditation to Helm, the god of protection.
Excellent. Beautiful.
He's serving as a step stool for Squirm to get to the ladder. There's going to be a banging from the trapdoor, Amelia.
So this is probably like 8 a.m-ish. So not like incredibly early, but the sun did just kind of rise. Yeah, not too long ago.
Okay, and if there's a loud banging, Lysandra will sort of wake up.
Probably.
Okay, so Lysandra will rise and come out of her room. Okay. And as the banging is happening, she'll say, Monsieur, oh my God, but, God, that half a drink last night was terrible.
Wait, you only had half a drink?
Go away.
Squirm is pretty sure that we discussed time being of the essence, and you were also...
It's very bright out.
That is a function of the sun rising, yes.
I don't understand why you say things like that.
Because they're true?
It's time to sleep.
Squirm. Is she having trouble waking up? I'm going to take that as a yes. 1 second. Silver's going to climb the ladder.
Oh,
Lysandra,
gosh.
come up. Lysandra, come up here. You missed this yesterday. No, come on up. Come on up. Trust me.
God. Oh, God, that rain has dropped. She'll look at Squirm. Sorry, Squirm, it's not you, it's me. Oh, God. And she'll sort of, like, half-heartedly climb up.
Okay, now that you're all within certain distance
Oh my
of me
gosh.
and can see me, listen.
I'd like to point out that Amelia can't see you.
I'm
Yeah.
in my bedroom with the trapdoor shut.
I'm assuming that you've got your head popped up to the trapdoor.
Oh,
if
I'm-
Amelia let you in.
I'm forcing my way up like last time.
So Amelia,
Great.
the trapdoor opens and you just roll off into the corner of your little tiny room there. And you see Silver's head pop up.
For God's sake.
So Amelia can see me from there, and Squirm and Lysandra can see me from below the ladder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Can you all hear me? If my head is up here. All right. I'm going to say
I
all
could-
this.
So loud.
I could hear you if you were a mile away. Oh my God.
I'm going to say all this while looking at you, Amelia, but it's for everybody. All right.
On a ladder? Fine.
Now look. I know that last night was difficult for all of us. We've been a team for several weeks now, and we've been working together toward common goals. And last night, that started to splinter. We started to discover tensions and differences in goals and priorities, and that's hard when we're all stakeholders in the same business and in the same city, Lysandra. Yes, but I believe in us. I believe that we can work together to tell secrets to this weird stone that we found and find the treasure that it hides. I believe, and this will go on for...
Squirm is incidentally at the top of the ladder that you've sort of forced your way up, so he's more or less pressed against you. And he's just going to start, like, beating out a rhythm against your armor because he has nothing else to do, and he knows how long this is.
So Lysandra will sort of ask Squirm, if I let go, are you standing on me? Because I don't want you to die too, unless you want to.
Squirm assures you that a fall from this height would not hurt Squirm.
Oh God, I'm hoping it'll hurt me. She'll look into the floor.
So at the end of 10 minutes,
10
you
minutes
each
of this.
yeah, 10 minutes of that. You each receive 8 temporary hit points. That's my level of 5 plus my charisma modifier of 3.
Excellent.
Amelia, does that help? Do you want to wake up and help us now? Did I inspire you?
No.
Oh. What if I were to tell you that Seth Cromley is downstairs? And Silver thinks that basically Amelia has a crush on Seth Cromley.
Yeah.
Like he's,
That's the head of the guards?
yeah,
because you
he's-
dressed up for him the other day.
he thought that he inspired you last time, but he's disappointed that it clearly wasn't just him. It must be that you have a big crush on Seth Cromley. Seth Cromley's downstairs,
Doing back.
and he's winking at you. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's back to ask you some questions. Wink, wink. Maybe you're not safe from Seth Cromley's affections. Wink, wink. Maybe you're in a precarious position, and what you care most about is at stake in this moment.
Do we hear
Squirm.
any of this?
I'm pressed. I'm basically next to his chest. Squirm would like to point out that Squirm could disembowel you from the top of this ladder.
What do you all want from me? I'm just trying to help. Now, Amelia, will you get up and
Writhe, the
come
guard
down?
are not here.
Oh, God damn it.
Lysandra will call up the ladder. My arms are tired. Can I go down now?
What the fuck is wrong with your friends?
I find myself wondering that sometimes.
Oh, good. The stone's awake. Stone. Oh, wait, I didn't hear that. All right, never mind.
No, you just heard me say out loud, I find myself wondering that sometimes.
Oh, so I can maybe deduce that you're talking to the stone like last night. Is the stone awake? Ask it if it's inspired by me.
The answer is no.
It says no.
Okay. Well, maybe we could just, start over with the 3 secrets today, and, we can just do it here.
He thinks
It's
there's
on-
3.
It's only got one eye open.
I don't know what that means, but my arms are tired. I'm leaving now.
Wait, what is Lysandra doing?
She's at the bottom of the ladder.
Why are you like...
If Squirm and Silver, I'm assuming Silver is talking up at the ladder, the trap door, and Lysandra's like, I'm letting go because Squirm's pressed against the door, right?
I don't know, but so your arms are tired from holding onto the ladder.
Yeah, I'm assuming because we all heard you. We're on the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lysandra's letting go, and she's going to go grab some breakfast.
So wait, does this ladder not go all the way down to the floor? Why is Lysandra holding onto the ladder just with her arms? Why isn't she wait for her?
Because we're complete.
TJ, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. TJ, have you ever climbed a ladder?
No, I haven't, Adam. I'm sorry. I'm not like you ladder climbers. I'm sorry. Anyways. Okay. Anyways, so Lysandra, she will still say her arms are tired because she's standing on the floor and she's still holding her arms up, holding onto the ladder. Does that make you feel better? Anyways, so she's going to grab some breakfast and she's going to say, I don't care if the stone has a stupid Swedish Irish accent. Anyway, I'm going to get breakfast. And she's going she's going to go grab breakfast for all of you because she loves you.
Oh my goodness.
At any rate, and she'll take Silver the cat with her if he wants some tuna. There. Okay. That being said, yes, she'll go down the back stairs. Is anyone in the establishment at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Martum is. And he's busy actually making banana pancakes for everyone.
Did we pay Martum last night for his services?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit. He takes a very reduced salary because he's getting room and board too.
The thing is, I'll hand Martum 1 silver and tell him, excellent job last night. Fantastic. You are simply a delight, Martum. Here you go.
Appreciate that.
Could you help me with breakfast? I don't know how to use a stove because I'm not of the lower classes.
Okay.
Wow.
And she'll sort of try and usher him into the kitchen. Could you show me how to fry an egg or whatever you do with an egg, bake an egg, broil an egg, flambe? I don't know.
Fry is fine. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, Amelia, you don't have to get out of bed. Just let me tell a secret of the stone, and then you tell me what it tells you, okay?
Okay.
All right, push the stone over here a bit.
Please roll a d4.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. My secret is... okay. Well, I don't know how much Silver would think through what counts as a secret and what doesn't.
Nouveau riche bondage mummies? I don't know.
Obviously, that wasn't a secret since he just told us that.
True. That's true.
And I think we've gone far enough with the mommy reveals. So what he'll say is, he'll kind of think for a little bit, and then he'll say to the stone,
Okay.
While averting his eyes from Amelia, my secret is that I sort of have a crush on Amelia Rive. There.
Oh my god. Delicious for breakfast. I've really made some bold choices with this voice, haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh well, what the fuck? Are you ready for a secret? The first of 3 keys to open the vault is simply a drunken elf.
Did I recognize that voice?
That seemed similar to the voice that told you where the vault was.
Okay. The first of 3 keys to open the vault is simply a drunken elf.
Simply a drunken elf.
Elves are in your wheelhouse, right?
Well, then,
Drunken is in Squirms.
you're an elf too. So,
Me?
aren't you?
I'm not a... Well, technically, drow are elves.
Yes, and drow
Is
elves.
that why you told the stone you have a crush on me?
Well, no, Mother never let me, hang out with the drow elves growing up, and so it's just been cool getting to know you on these Waterdeep adventures. Adventures. Listen, we're done here. Take your stone back, and the joke's on you because Seth Crumley's not downstairs. And I slam the door down and go down the stairs, the ladder.
Okay. You head back downstairs. So sort of Squirm and Amelia are kind of awkwardly still up there.
That could have gone better.
Squirm's up there? I thought Squirm was still down. Or no, he climbed up to
Yeah,
there.
he's like on your head, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, there's layers that could have gone better. A lot of them, in fact. It's really a very large cake of ways that could have gone better, but still, tip about how to get in, that's useful.
Not a very good tip.
So now we have to wait until... Wait, why? I thought that it has... Oh,
Recovers
it regains
1d3.
1d3. Oh.
That's, yeah, and I rolled up here a little bit higher.
I was wondering, I was like, why the hell did Andy just roll? And I'm like, oh wait, it's Dawn.
Gotcha. Yeah. So now we have to wait until the next day to even get any other keys.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we can kind of speed forward a little bit to get a couple days in if you're not going to do much outside of just get information.
Sure.
Or if you're going to want to try to go somewhere and do something that would be done today.
Now that people are gone, Squirm is going to ask, is whatever you need to take care of today something that you could use Squirm's help with?
I can't take care of it anymore if I'm in danger. So, I guess we'll just get through this. Well, wait. No. Do you think if one of our workers went somewhere, they might be followed? Or do you think just us?
To be perfectly fair, Squirm isn't convinced that some of our workers aren't the ones following us.
Well then. I guess I'll just wait.
If you require something with someone not being followed, Squirm is able to be quiet and quick.
Do you think you can make it through Waterdeep without people following you?
How much of Waterdeep would Squirm need to cover to get to where you need Squirm to go?
I don't know. I don't think through backstories very deeply. Yeah, that's Lena.
That's funny.
Some
You could also take some time, take the next couple days to kind of think about the best approach as well, if you want. No worries. And mechanically, that means you could make that decision for next time we play.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
I will say that before we go, Lysandra will sort of, at some point over the next couple days, sort of, when Silver and Lysandra are alone, sort of look Silver up and down sort of nonchalantly and say, I meant when I said that you're not so bad, Naran. And she'll sort of look him up and down once very quickly and sort of look him in the eye and then walk away.
Thank you. So I guess yes, Silver would, I guess, defer to the group about... So, let's say basically that Silver agrees that figuring out Temple of God stuff for vengeance purposes and investigating his mother's connection to all this, both of those can wait until after we have figured out the vault stuff. And so we're holing ourselves up in the tavern during the day and just running a very tight ship in terms of keeping the stone safe. Are we still running? Are we still open for business in the evenings?
If you want to. Yeah. If not.
Unless something went really wrong, Lysandra would want to keep us open for profit reasons.
There's also no point in so radically altering our behavior. Because while they know we were chasing them, they don't necessarily... For example, the Zentarum wouldn't have necessarily known if we knew what we were looking for or had gotten, and they wouldn't even necessarily be sure that we had gotten it. There was a mass mob. I mean, not a mass mob. There was an audience at a play
with prominent harpers at it as well.
Yeah, that had a bunch of people there, and I disappeared very quickly, and I remained under Amelia's cloak until we were back.
The thing is, too, Lysandra did try and cast command on somebody in her robe before she went invisible again. So whoever was attempting to follow us or attempting to get the stone away from us knows that we're not trying to, how shall we say, we're not amateurs.
Also true.
Well, but I more meant that if we completely change our behavior and they would know we were a group to look at, if everything changes, that might be more of a red flag than we proceed in.
So you're saying that holing up and not going out could actually be seen as mysterious?
Certainly, completely holding up and closing the business would seem to red flag to anyone that had any base knowledge of this that they just got something useful. We maintain relatively normal, albeit with increased security, Squirm is also the one who probably goes out least generally. So Squirm would be good with generally staying to help defend the stone at all times.
I will also say Lysandra is there to receive people. So Lysandra is basically between Nixa, Squirm, and Lysandra. Nixa would send, or I should say Lysandra would send Nixa up if anything were to happen in the actual tavern, because Lysandra's kind of the face of the tavern, is kind of how I see it. And then, so basically the thing is, Lysandra's there to greet, and then if Squirm was there to make drinks / go upstairs, Nixa would definitely sort of act as a liaison.
Well, so how do we want to handle it for stream? Because I know that we need to wrap it up fairly soon, and I don't want to... I mean... If it makes sense for Silver to have left during the day to handle some of his shit, then fine, but I don't think we need to roleplay that tonight.
I will also say that if you asked at least Lysandra, she would go with you with anything. But yeah, I'm fine with roleplaying that later.
Yeah, so it's cool. I just need an answer to one question. Are you cool generally keeping low until you get more information out of the stone, because we could play that and then sort of stop for tonight.
That's totally fine with me.
So, like, maybe Silver's going out and about, but he's not poking for information about Temple of Gond. He's not investigating his mom.
That's my question.
Keeping it. We're staying low, trying to appear normal, but remaining diligent about the stone. That sounds good to me. Is that fine with everybody else?
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then I'm all about fast.
Yeah. So real quick then, the next day you get 2 more charges. If someone gives me a couple more, like Amelia, go ahead and roll a d4, and someone else gives me a secret, then we'll see. Okay, that's a 3. And if someone gives me a secret real quick,
There are 2 people that Squirm would die for.
awesome. So Squirm, give me a d6 roll real quick. 5. Oh shit. The second of 3 keys is the severed hand of a drow. And
Gruesome.
And another d4, Amelia, if you want to do the second.
I rolled another one.
And another one. That secret, someone says, I can't ride my bicycle.
What was the secret that we fed it?
That's up to you.
Probably that Lysandra's second prom date, so her senior prom date, was really actually of the same class, but really shouldn't have been.
All right. And then the next day, 2 more. So give me another d4. So this is now kind of the 3rd day.
2.
I need another secret then.
Amelia would tell it that I don't really know what crushes are. I just pretend.
Oh,
I
that's
love it.
sweet.
Then give me a d6, Amelia.
6.
The third and final key is a unicorn.
So I just want to communicate with you, Stone, that your hints, your keys, are basically riddles, and it's really not very helpful. If you could perhaps try to give us more transparent
That's the word.
answers, I would appreciate it.
No, I really mean a unicorn.
Oh, literally?
Yeah. Or a piece of it or something.
Oh, okay.
Literally. Yeah.
So I'm just, Squirm is in the room with Amelia, and it's like, literally what?
The third and final key is literally a unicorn? Or a piece of one?
Oh, fuck, Squirm. Thank God it's not anything inconvenient. Fucking drow hands are easy. Thousands of those around.
Would any of us know a unicorn or where one would be?
Perhaps for next time. Because that, I'm afraid, concludes tonight's episode of Helpful Goat Gaming presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. If you enjoyed this and are curious to see where the story goes, please follow us on Twitch, where we are simply Helpful Goat, or subscribe on YouTube at Helpful Goat Gaming. We are a small independent game design firm and could really use the support. And if you'd like to know more about us, our streams, our company, or our upcoming projects, you can visit helpfulgoat.com, follow us on Twitter at helpfulgoat, or check out our Facebook page at helpfulgoat. And if you like this, please give us a like, rate us, and give us a comment on iTunes, Stitcher, whatever you like. We would really, really love that. Thank you for listening. We love you all so much. And from all of us on Goats and Dragons, even the sick ones, we wish you an excellent evening. Good night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
A unicorn?
As the Irish say, may the road rise to meet your face.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
This has been Waterdeep Dragon Heist on Helpful Goat Presents, a games and gaming podcast. If you want to hear more, check out our main podcast feed, Goats and Dragons, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. And if you like what you hear, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.